So how have y'all spent your All-Star weekend break?
Chilling, relaxing.
Chilling, relaxing. That man is a liar. This is one of the most eventful. What do you mean? What do you mean? You're a liar.
We got back on Monday, and I immediately took a nap.
I proceeded to chill right away.
That was my plan. It was an eventful weekend, but yeah, the rest of the break, I'm chilling. I'm sleeping. I'm napping.
Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, man. We're recording this on Wednesday, February 21st. The All-Star break ends tomorrow. Our season's starting up again. But, you know, if you guys saw the last episode that dropped on Saturday instead of Friday, which is I know mix up to our normal posting schedule, but that happened because we were at NBA All-Star Weekend recording a live show in Indianapolis that went pretty well. You know, we had a little crowd there. Nikhil has his pictures pulled up of the show there. Somebody said I had to stand on something to be in the first pick.
No, that's crazy as hell. I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, how did y'all feel about the live show, about being at All-Star Weekend for the first time, all that?
Man, I guess we start off with baby steps. Being at All-Star Weekend was crazy as hell. I hopped on my flight and I see agent from AMP, then I see some like the CEO of Overtime, and I see the rapper Lil Tyler, the 16, 17-year-old dude. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I land, boom, Dominique Wilkins right in front of my face. And I'm like, holy shit, man, I'm really here. Legs and knees
the whole
start to
NBA
buckle
world came together the whole weekend.
Yeah, exactly. There was so much happened, bro. We witnessed the atrocious dunk contest, witnessed Donovan airball. Charles Barkley tried to steal my girlfriend from me, and we can get into that story, but I guess I might save it for the stream on Monday, 8 p.m. But man, oh man, nice so much shit happened.
Yeah. What about you, Donovan? How do you feel about the weekend? Well, how do you summarize it?
Eventful and cold. Bro, it was cold as hell in Indianapolis. Oh my goodness. And like, it was like 16 degrees. You and I were walking around at like, when was it? I think it was after All-Star Saturday night. We were walking around trying to get to different places. And it was just like an uncomfortable experience. It was just too cold. We didn't have beanies. We didn't have the right type of jacket. Didn't have any kind of gloves. Our faces were literally frozen walking around that city.
Yeah, man. I was so mad. We left. There was a concert on Saturday at the venue after Saturday night things. I forget the guy's name. Jelly Roll was recorded as performing. Yep. We decided to leave early. We went to Anwar to try to get into this party or whatever. I was walking for 30 minutes in the cold with the lightest jacket on.
Wait, time out. I'm sorry, Nikhil. You take this down now. You take this down now. Y'all have to understand. Immediately after this, snow in my face, right? Understand the conditions.
It's not even snowing right now, bro. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. You have to understand the conditions of what it was like. It was 16 degrees about to snow. You get me in an actual gym, that's different, right? Than just getting on the street with some regular rubber ball that you find in a 5th grade gym, the one that has all the little, it's growing other basketballs on it. That's too much. All right.
Damn.
Relax.
Listen, I was with Donovan when we did this. I'm the worst hooper of the three of us by far.
Tell him what you shot at.
I made two of my first 3 shots.
Tell him where you shot at. Tell him where you shot at.
I don't know, the same place you shot at. What do you mean?
You were not at the same place. You were taking layups.
No, he was not. You lying.
You were taking layups.
Look at him trying to lie. I made 2 of my first 3 shots, and this man had to shoot 5 times before he made it. Embarrassing effort from somebody who calls himself the best hooper of us 3. You do better next time.
Play me right now. Fly to Houston. Play me right now.
I'm dead, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, again, it was a fun weekend. I was not prepared for the cold, coming from Los Angeles and Texas before that. First time I've experienced a cold like that in quite some time. Yeah. Like I'm not used to that Midwestern cold. It was nuts.
Yeah, I can tell you guys one thing, and I feel like I can speak for all of us, and probably 75% of people who went to All-Star Weekend. We are never stepping foot back in Indiana. I have zero reason to do that. I go in Indiana.
I wasn't going to say it.
I was going to
let him live. It was their weekend to be the main characters. That city is boring.
It is tough, man. But hey, it was a great time. I ran into so many just huge dudes. I saw Kenny Smith walking in front of him. I'm like, wow, bro. I don't know how he does it. Shout out to him, because if I had
for real. For real, I don't know how he walks straight. His knee is going into the other leg. It's crazy.
Yeah. Perpetual bruising.
The most bow-legged. He needs that surgery. He needs a surgery where they break your leg and they make it straight.
That's crazy.
He has the money for it.
Yeah, also Rico was great. As you guys see from the title of today's episode, we're gonna go through every single NBA team, and we're gonna talk about their biggest problem they need to solve in the second half of the season. You know, we're past the trade deadline, so these aren't problems they can fix with a personnel move. It's gonna have to be straight adjustments, finding ways to use their personnel better, all that. So, gonna be a pretty in the weeds, little analysis heavy episode. So, should be fun.
Facts.
This tweet.
This tweet is hilarious.
If you're watching on YouTube, drop a like and subscribe. If you're on audio platforms, rate us 5 stars, leave a review, follow us on all socials, check out the merch. It's still in the bio. You know, we refreshed the merch recently. You got the new designs on there. It's looking great. Check out
episode 3
show.
of IG Show. Go ahead and check that shit out. Tap the fuck in.
Yeah, man. Let's get into the episode.
The cranium is crazy. Oh my god.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters rejoice.
Before we get to the, going through every team's problems, did you guys see all the, conversation today? Everybody talking about the state of NBA media after JJ Reddick went on First Take and once again complained about the whole First Take, hot take environment and how it's not prone to educational content and all this stuff. Did you guys see that?
Discord squared. Yes, I did see it.
Discord squared. Yeah, exactly.
I did see it.
Yeah.
There's nothing the NBA media likes more than talking about the NBA media.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely hilarious to see just like Patrick Beverley come out of the woodworks fighting for Doc Rivers' online reputation or whatever. But I mean, I saw a lot of interesting things. There's a lot of validity to JJ Redick's argument and conversation. One of the biggest talking points that he had was like, yo, I post a video breaking down blah 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 50k some views, but I talk about Doc Rivers and fire off of him 10 million engagements or whatever. And like that sentiment is just like super true. Basketball is like top tier basketball. The market for it is like it caters to crayon eaters. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that necessarily. Like I enjoy the fun stuff too, but at the same time, we can even like speak from our channel perspective. Like when we post a video, not talking about like a super fun conversation like drafting somebody or like putting jerseys in a tier list or whatever, we are like the views don't do necessarily the same. And he's speaking facts.
JJ Redick's whole point was, do fans even want this type of content, or do they just want the bullshit that he's in the limelight for, getting attacked, arguing for? He's like, every time I do this, y'all perpetuate it and push it out there. Like, do people even want educational content? Is the NBA fan base lazy? Didn't he be educated? All this shit. And he does this every time he goes on to First Take. Occasionally he gets frustrated and is like, what the fuck are we talking about? Yeah. As if he's not on First Take, like he's surprised by this after going on First Take, the show where that's all they do. So it's led to some people pushing back on his point a little bit. Nick Wright was on Twitter talking about like, I don't go on diner drive-ins and dives and complain when we talk about food. Like this is what you sign up for. It's a bit pretentious to pretend this should be anything otherwise. There's a market for this. Where do you fall on this, Donovan? I feel like you're probably pretty opinionated.
I'm somewhere in the middle though. I think I think that this is something that we try to do a good amount. I think like when you watch basketball, there's obviously like the meme of like two camps. You have like people who watch it and you're like, oh, like that boy nice. And then you have the like advanced stat nerds on the other side. And like, yes, advanced stats help and they help to, provide context for a lot of things that you see, because sometimes you can't just rely on your eyes. I've seen people literally look at a player and be like, oh, he's a shooter. Like you can't leave him. And then you go look at the stats and he shoots less than 30% from 3, right? And it's like what you're watching isn't always true. But honestly, when I look at this reminds me of a conversation like if we go into music and it's like a Drake versus Kendrick Lamar where you're like, well, Kendrick's a better rapper. Like look at like his lyricism, look at everything that he's doing. It's like, that's cool. And there's a time and place for all that, right? But if you're out, you're not trying to hear Kendrick Lamar screaming, sliding down a wall, right? You want to hear some Drake stuff, right? And that's the mix that we're trying to get. And I think that JJ Reddick, like, you are also JJ Reddick and you have a platform to do all the nerdy stuff that you want. Stop hating. Like, it is what it is.
I think,
or do both.
I think JJ Reddick has a great point. JJ Reddick is right. But I think Nick Wright is right about this isn't the vehicle to do it and explain this on. If you're going to go on First Take, this is what they do. this is the platform that the entire point of the show is to give hot takes and play basically a game of entertainment for casual fans that want to see arguing. They're coming for arguing, not for analysis. So to go on there and get on the soapbox is just a hilarious place to do it. Like, why are you even coming on the show then if you don't give a fuck about this? But he is right overall about his sentiment that style of content and how companies like ESPN have fully dove into that. They saw Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith get traction in the early 2010s arguing about LeBron's legacy every motherfucking day, and they tripled down on it and made their entire network around it. And I think that has really made it so, especially NBA fans, this is the only way they consume this stuff. All they think about is first take ass brain when they're talking about basketball.
How did this affect LeBron's legacy?
Exactly. That's like the automatic mode of consumption for so many fans. And JJ Reddick has a problem with that. My problem with it, though, is that he was like, do fans even want to be educated? And I don't think it's a fan thing where they just don't want it. I think they've been conditioned to think that because That's all ESPN shoves down their fucking brain and makes them think this is all we need to talk about.
It's not even that,
there needs to be a better mix.
It's past ESPN, right? The NBA has marketed their stars. They've marketed like this player versus this player since the 1980s. This is something that's been going on for 40, 45 years. So this is literally how the league is built. And so to think that you're just going to show up one day and be like, hey guys, I have this breakdown of like this pick and roll coverage and like everybody's just gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. Like it's going to take time to undo everything that David Stern built the league on. It's not going to happen overnight.
No. But what you're talking about is people liking players over teams. That's a different conversation. I think definitely perpetuated by the NBA.
I think it leads into this because when you talk about baseball, right? Baseball is not a rings culture sport at all. And I think that everybody kind of understands that it is a team sport and you really need everything firing. Obviously, it's a little bit different in basketball because of the way that like one player can affect a team. But when you market the stars and then you take that and you say, okay, we are building things up to be player A versus player B. And now we take that into rings culture. It is directly like related to that in how fans see teams, right? You see teams as LeBron and the Cavaliers. You see it as Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns, right? And then that kind of spirals into everything else. So like, it's going to take time to kind of unlearn this and look at things like, I guess from a micro perspective and start looking at like the X's and O's and all the stats and stuff like that.
For sure. The NBA definitely has a part in it, but I think a big part of it is I'll blame ESPN as the main culprit. There's obviously other media companies that are part of this. Even the ones that we work for, like there's plenty of culprits in this media scape that have shaped it to be what it is. But I think it's the easiest to just look at ESPN as like the prime example because, they had the whole embrace debate era that even now, as we're a little bit after that, as that kind of fell apart for them and they've kind of hit the new era, everything they talk about is trades. Everything they talk about is how do we get this player to the big market. The Cavs go off, have a crazy stretch. Even if we're doing, the NBA wants to market its stars, if you think of their version of it, best case scenario, which you could still see problematic, is like, let's big up Donovan Mitchell. Can he be the next MVP or whatever? Instead of like having conversations around Donovan Mitchell, even if it's not going to be the Cavs, ESPN will come on here and be like, how do we get him to the Knicks? Does his recent play make you think he'll request a trade next year if they don't win the title? Like it immediately becomes a narrative driven stuff like that. Even outside of the player focused stuff the NBA talks about, these companies see the success of this narrative driven stuff and the success of this debate stuff. And that's where the profits come from. So they go straight into that. Let's triple down on that. People aren't going to want to listen if we talk about the Cavaliers. So let's find a way to make it about the Knicks. Find a way to make it about the Lakers. And they're just doubling down on profit over substance, which is, not to get all soapboxy, the story of America and in every industry, but that's affecting media in every way, not just sports. And this is how we're seeing it play out for us, where it's just ruining the ways fans think about the game because of this profit-based approach to sports media.
Listen,
what do you think about that, Donovan?
I mean, Isaac's not wrong, right? But I also think like there is a level, and I think my problem, at least in what JJ said, is what Isaac alluded to earlier, is that you did this on First Take, and a lot of the times when people who are very like X's and O's driven and very statistical in their analysis of the game, whenever you get into these big picture conversations, a lot of times it comes off as you're condescending. It comes down as like, why are we even talking about this? Why are we even doing this? As if that conversation doesn't even have a place. We saw Donovan Mitchell literally for an entire offseason basically subtweet say, I want to go to the Knicks. There was talk all this time about like X, Y, and Z and him going to the Knicks. So it wouldn't be shocking as if, to look at him and think of him in the context of, oh, is that still a thing? Is he eventually going to go to the Knicks? I just think that you can have both, and you can have a balance between these two things, but you got to learn how to, like, I think also insulting the product as is on either side is kind of just like counterproductive. Go do your job, right? Make the content you want to make. I promise you, if you make good content, people are gonna rock with it, and you can build it from there. But like, you're mad that the Ice Spy song is the one trending rather than your 8-minute lyrical miracle type of thing. Just relax, like do what you do, and everything will solve itself.
Yeah, there's definitely a market for a mix of both, right? Like, that's what I feel like that we try to do with this show is get people in the door through the shorts and everything. Of we do the fun bullshit because it's fun, right? And people want to see it, and then they come to the show and they'll see more substantive conversations, like hopefully like this one, the ones to come before TikTok time. Like try to find a blend of both. I think that's inevitably what you got to do these days with the state of media, because you can't ignore the short form mind, the younger fans with the stuff they want to consume. But like I said, there is a balance to it, and oftentimes First Take can go to the opposite way, where it's too much of the bullshit, right? Where you're saying what we're going to talk about the Donovan Mitchell stuff, yeah, a little bit, right? But not all the time. We're not going to spin it when the Cavs are doing well. Find a way to spin it to the Knicks stuff instead of talking about both. There's a time and place for everything, and he's right. It is leaning too far that way, but it's, again, we agree. The place to message that is not going on First Take. That's the point where it comes off pretentious.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thanks. Man. Such an interesting conversation. I mean, all this also has to do with like just basketball as a whole being I feel like basketball is the easiest sport to get into because there's not as many moving parts compared to something like baseball or fucking football, which their rosters contain like 50, 60 players or something crazy like that. Like
52, yeah.
There's so many moving parts, and when it comes to basketball, it's just like, okay, easiest form of it is like 1-on-1. After that, 5-on-5. You know what I'm saying? And I think I agree with both of you guys. JJ Reddick, there's a time and place for these types of conversations or whatever. He could be doing this because this is his biggest platform, ESPN. But at the same time, he is doing his part by doing his the show that he has on his show with Nikias and Steve Jones, I believe, on his channel, talking about all the X's and O's. So it's like, it's a time and place for everything, was a little pretentious, probably that, but I think that just may be JJ Reddick's personality just a little bit. And that what makes him him.
Yeah, that's what I feel him. So like, people say the same shit to me, that I can come up pretentious like that. So I understand him. Like, it is what it is sometimes. It's hard to, when you're someone wired like him, it's hard to deal with so much bullshit that is part of the job, but can get frustrating when you feel like it's just like so much fluff that like, he can't comprehend how to just like accept all this. I can understand him getting frustrated by that. I often feel similarly. So it's not surprising to me that he would go this route, even if we think it's a little bit much.
Yeah, exactly. Could you imagine how you'd feel if I asked you, Isaac, like every 2 weeks when you hop on the show, who's better, LeBron or Jordan? Where do you rank? Higher, Kobe.
I wouldn't do this shit. That's what I'm saying. But then again,
in a different format,
he doesn't have to do that shit. He has a successful show doing what he wants. He doesn't have to go on First Take. So that's the part. It's like, stop going on it. Well, granted, he has the ESPN contract. Part of it is maybe they want him on there, whatever. So we don't know how that works exactly. But you're a fucking multimillionaire with your own successful platform. You don't have to do this. You can do your own thing. I promise. You don't have to get.
Is different.
Which is fair. But I often get very frustrated by narratives and how annoying the things we talk about in basketball are. And I found myself having to remind myself that, like, you can just get off Twitter. You don't got to give a fuck about what Twitter's talking about Anthony Davis, about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, whatever. I think he's even more wrapped in it, as he's an even bigger media person than we'll ever be. And he's so, listen, on TV is a different level of scrutiny and different level of consuming the stuff. I think he has to do a little bit of that disconnection as well and realize some of the shit just doesn't matter.
Facts. So you're saying that if JJ Reddick just touched grass, he'll be okay?
He's stuck in being too terminally online. I've been there. I've been there plenty of times. He has to stop giving a fuck.
That's hilarious.
Touch
bro.
grass is
JJ
hilarious.
Reddick tap in with timeout mode on iPhone.
Yeah, man. All right, let's transition away from that. We're about 20 minutes in. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this episode. We're going to go through every single NBA team and give one problem they all got to solve. Donovan, why don't you go first as the resident hater? I know you got some negativity lined up for us. Who was your first team?
My first team is the Dallas Mavericks. And I'm going to do the thing that you hate the most. We're going to talk narratives right now. Right?
Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
Because, okay, and I'll say this.
Here go that bullshit.
I'll say this. Realistically, their problem that they're going to have to solve is, are they going to be able to surround Luka Doncic with enough versatile defenders to where he can do what he does on offense, and then defensively they can cover him and Luka, and then they'll be fine in the playoffs. They've won 6 straight games. They have the second best defense in the NBA at that in that time, but they played the Sixers without Embiid. They played the Knicks without Brunson and Randall. Right? There's some games. There were some weak wins, but also they stomped the Thunder in that span.
Yeah,
and that's
which, granted,
what's up?
That was a matinee game coming onto the road. So
Exactly.
the Thunder, I don't really blame the Thunder for that loss either.
Exactly. But that problem, I don't see it as like a this year type of problem. That's kind of a perpetual thing that if you have Luka Doncic on your team, you're always going to need those types of players, and that's always going to be a concern. So it seems more of a prerequisite than problem. My real problem that I have for the Mavericks is they're going to have to figure out a way to keep Luka Doncic from running off into the sunset with Nikola Jokic, right? And I say that because right now, even as good as they are playing, they're probably not going to be in the top 4 in the West. They are going to have to go on the road for a deep playoff run. And there's a lot of teams that we think are better. And so eventually we're going to get to a point where, you know, if they're not getting back to the conference finals the way that they were 2 years ago, we might have an issue, right? We think that the team that they've surrounded with him right now is definitely an upgrade over the one that they had earlier in the season. But they need to put pressure on themselves and don't have Luka be the one subtweeting people. The Mavericks need to take the initiative to make sure that they have the best roster around him to make sure that he does not leave whenever his time is up. That's the real problem. But outside of that, like, everything else is fine.
I love how you just did exactly what I was talking about First Take doing. They're playing well, and you're like, what if he leaves?
That is hilarious.
I told you.
And
Get the fuck out of here.
And then
I told you.
Nikola Jokic and then you use Nikola Jokic as his bromance to go ahead and get
Bro,
to
they
that
were running
bridge,
around
but-
like Ghost and Angie
did
all
the
weekend.
exact
Like, yo, relax. Relax.
I understand that. I understand that.
hilarious.
That's high level. That's high level thinking.
That's why I wanted to start with that.
I never
knew
need the
you'd like
Stephen A.
it.
Smith allegations.
I knew you'd like it.
That's hilarious.
All right, but yeah, I agree. It's a problem. I hope he never leaves, but he's not turning down Supermax money, so I don't see him leaving anytime soon. Nobody's ever
Yeah.
turned down Supermax money.
You act like the Supermax money can't be signed and then a trade request happen. That's all I'm saying. But if
every
you
time we've
want
seen
to
that,
go
there's been
into
a couple years of gap.
if you want to go into like the real thing, yeah, I think it is real talk. Like the defense of from this team, they are obviously like very high powered offensively. They have shooters, they have athleticism now around Luka. But if they are going to go and beat the Minnesota Timberwolves with their size, if they're gonna beat the Nuggets in their offensive system, everything that the Thunder have been doing, you're going to need to be able to, one, stop people at the rim, and you're going to need really, really good defenders. I'm not 100% sure that they have all of those things to make deep playoff runs and beat those teams one by one in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem they have right now is they don't have enough big wing defenders, which, you know, most teams don't. It's pretty hard to do that. It's going to be hard to... I think back every time I'm thinking about most of these teams that are contenders, how are you going to beat either the Nuggets or the Clippers? And, you know, Luka's had his way with the Clippers over the years, but he always loses those series. And this team has one less Dorian Finney-Smith than they had in the past, and the Clippers have one more James Harden than they had in the past. So even harder to imagine them having a defense strong enough on the perimeters to guard a James Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, with Kyrie Irving in the building now. Tim Hardaway Jr. plays big minutes. Listen, they don't, like I said, they don't have Dorian Finney-Smith. They just got PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford, who are been good additions. don't solve that problem at all. If PJ Washington is guarding Kawhi Leonard, you're in hell. So I think that's the biggest problem is how are they going to match up with these big wings that are on all the best teams in the league?
Exactly.
Yeah. For me, it's just like, well, to piggyback off what you said, Isaac, I hate using that transitional word, but it's a goddamn good one. But
just do it. Just piggyback. It's fine.
They just simply can't keep up with a lot of the top elite teams in the Western Conference. When it comes to their defensive pieces, that's more so the part, of course, like that's been the consistency of their entire tension with Luka Doncic. They just can't keep up. It's simple as that. Offense, just because you have Luka Doncic on your roster, there's not a soul on the planet that they can't keep up with. But when it comes to how effective their wing guys are, you know what I'm saying, the Tim Hardaway Juniors of the world, is just like, that's when things get a little bit shaky now. This is probably the best roster that Luka Doncic has had on paper, but in terms of just like what this dude actually needs, I'm not 110% sure. Now, Daniel Gafford does move me, of course. PJ Washington is way better than what they previously had, but just looking at the archetype of player that Luka is and his deficiencies, I'm not 100% sure how they will hold up once that time comes and pace starts to slow down a little bit and teams need to start locking up. And I don't know if the Dallas Mavericks will ever eventually be that team that locks anything up.
Yeah, I like my biggest issue I had with them early in the year before this trade was they don't get to the rim a lot. They're 28th in rim volume, which I think having Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington helps there directly. You know, with Gafford there now, between him and Lively, they're always going to have an athletic rim runner on the court. And Max Kleber's been good defensively too. So like, I don't really have an issue with their front court anymore. But defensively, they're still 28th in rim defense accuracy given up. And as good as Gafford is, I don't see him solving that. So that's my biggest problem is, can you build a competent defense when you don't have big wings and you don't defend the rim well? You're going to have to really outshoot teams. You know, when you have a Luka and Kyrie, it's always possible, but that's a difficult place to start from. Like you're always starting in a disadvantage there. And if you're going to start disadvantage, you need a ball handler to bail you out every game. Luka's the one to fucking do it. But that's a hard team construction, which again, they're better now. So maybe they can outgun that every game now.
This whole situation for the defense, I guess right now after the All-Star break, it's more of an unknown than a problem, but it definitely can snowball into a problem. So that's why I put it down there.
Yeah, I'm very hopeful of them though. The more I think about them, the more hopeful I am that they're going to be extremely good after we come back and see more of this team. So, in terms of like the teams I'm most or least worried about, they're closer to least worried about right now.
That's fair to say. At the same time, it's like, I bet it's so frustrating for any fan in the Western Conference right now just to like see their team thriving. A lot of teams right now are like 9-6 in their last whatever, or 10-4 or 10-6 type shit. And they like haven't moved, or if they moved, it's like up a smidge against other teams. So it's just like, West is tough, man. This is probably the toughest year of the West that I've ever seen personally.
At least since that year when the Rockets and the Warriors were insane, and everybody else was trying to be good, but those two teams were like the 1 and 2 seed. The West was pretty loaded in that era, but yeah, we're back to that point where there's a lot of teams that can compete.
Tough, man, tough. But Isaac, I want to hear your next team.
I'll do my next team because there's one I want to talk about early in the show so we can get to them because they've been in the news a little bit. The Brooklyn Nets. This team's biggest problem is they don't know what the fuck they are long term or currently. They just fired Jacques Vaughn over the All-Star break, which was not surprising in a long-term view. He was only there as an interim coach. That it's kind of like an Antonio Pierce situation where he did well as an interim and earned it and the players wanted him, so they gave him the full-time job. Has done nothing of promise since then. And there's been some reporting from different players within the organization that they've been frustrated with their game plan as of late. They lost in embarrassing fashion by like 40 points to the Celtics in the last game before the break, which seemed to be the breaking point where they said, Jacques Vaughn, you got to get the fuck up out of here. And after that game, Mikal Bridges went to the podium and basically was saying that this team doesn't know what they're doing offensively. To the press, he was telling them that he feels like the game plan is just really incoherent. And he said he feels like they have a game plan based around Ben Simmons, but when he's not there, you know, the dribble handoff game isn't there the same, that they kind of lose who they are as a team. And of course, in the wake of this firing, Brian Windhorst, I think, reported that people on this team were frustrated by Jacques Vaughn building too much around Ben Simmons. So even just on the X's and O's, what they're doing offensively with this roster, nobody's happy. Cam Thomas has said he's unhappy with it, even though he's, you know,
Cam Thomas,
whatever value of player you want to give him. This team turned down all their picks back from the Rockets when they try to trade for Mikal Bridges. They're committed to building around a third option. They don't want to make any type of big move because they want to be competent. This overall, everything involved in this roster doesn't know where it's going right now.
If it is genuinely true that they turned down all those picks from the Houston Rockets, I can't do nothing but pray for those people in Brooklyn because, oh my goodness, like right now when I see them, I see the game plan. It's to build around Mikal Bridges and then hopefully build around along with Cam Bridges. There's Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith, who just feels like a less evolved version of Mikal Bridges. There's so much like redundancy going around everywhere. There's no real plans, just like straight up delusion going on. And
yeah,
I just don't know where to start from this. It just must be coming from like top down, and their organization just reeks of incompetence.
Oh, definitely is.
Yeah,
we've heard it from the jump. Every time Josiah touches a mic, he says, "I miss the days before Kevin Durant and Kyrie when we had a good, fun team," and he wants that again. He just decided to hitch that wagon around Mikal Bridges and put him in a role that he's not really suited to play, and I think it's kind of unfair to him, honestly.
Yeah, listen, this is a team, we talk all the time about teams not having direction, and this is a team that, one, has no aura within the city of New York. And
no sexy players, just say it, bro. No sexy players.
No, I was like, every time
it's not a vibe, bro.
A road team comes in, the road team has more fans than the Brooklyn Nets in their home arena. And it doesn't matter if that team is on the West Coast, if they're in the Midwest, they are coming in and they are filling up Barclays Center to root for their team. This team needs a reset from the top to bottom. Right, from GM to coach. You can't keep having a GM picking a coach and pick an interim coach, and then you trade half the players on the team. We said this when the trade happened, that all of their players are perfect trade candidates for other teams. Right, they are fine players to be complementary pieces. They are fine players to be role players. But if you have just a team of role players, this is exactly what you're going to get, right? The NBA is too talented to where you can't have a team without a legitimate low-level all-star and think that you're going to be competitive, even for the play-in. So they need to figure out who's going to run this team. They need to figure out what they want to be. And if they want to be 42-40 and be that fun team, that's fine. But go ahead and do it with a 22-year-old rather than a 28-year-old, and you'll be cooking.
Damn. Yeah. Dude, Mikal Bridges is 28?
Something like that.
I think so.
He's not young. He came in as he was already an old rookie, so he's getting up there.
Yeah.
The funny part to me is how as soon as he got fired, the reporting was that Jacques Vaughn wanted to build too much around Ben Simmons. And we had a report a while ago that Spencer Dinwiddie was extremely upset, wasn't trying, wanted to get traded. Apparently, this is a big part of why. And that's so funny because I'm sure as a player in the organization, you're not going to want to be building around Ben because I'm sure they have lost faith in him like everybody else has. But on the other hand, if you're Jacques Vaughn, I think it kind of makes sense because the only way you can imagine this team having any sort of ceiling is if they get the most out of Ben and get lucky with his health. So I understand wanting to build for a sense that prioritizing getting him going because without that you have no ceiling. But that can get tricky when he's not available and the players are like, what the fuck are we doing now?
Yeah, you're right. Like Ben Simmons coming into the season, he was the X factor for the trajectory of their entire organization.
I tried to tell y'all. Both of you guys were all in and was like, this is the year. Like Ben Simmons is back.
It was more I was hoping for it than
Isaac sold me. I didn't go with it. I told
you that when you guys,
I was just hoping for it. I wanted to have it.
Go to hell.
We are here in February, and you guys are homeless because you bet the house on Ben Simmons being comeback player of the year. This is what's gonna happen. I listen.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy bet because his back hasn't held up and it continued not. I understand that, but it was more like a wishing into existence thing. It was a hot take episode, for God's sake. But I understand that. I mean, it's not surprising, right? Year after year now, we've seen that his body's not going to support him. Continue to not support him, right? He's back now, but he's still not playing back-to-backs and missing games every now and then. Even when he's on the court, his confidence is still non-existent. He doesn't even look at the rim. He runs around and passes the ball, doesn't even try to score. He doesn't want to get fouled, doesn't want to go to the free throw line.
What do you do with
that?
It's
tough to build around that.
Y'all are lucky, right? Y'all are lucky. You guys didn't actually bet y'all's house on Ben Simmons. Jacques Vaughn did, right? Jacques Vaun bet his job on Ben Simmons. He's fired now.
That's true.
He ain't got a job because he trusted in Ben Simmons. So we'll see how that goes. Nikhil,
That's hilarious.
we're gonna fight. Like, yo, take the video down, fam. Take the video off the screen.
Send the video.
Oh, bro. Black short.
Man, we can move on,
Simmons
man. This
with
is a
flush
team in
crazy.
disarray. Listen, we're going through every
Yeah.
team. We can't spend too much time on everybody. We're already 35 minutes in. We talked about 2 teams, so
Good
we can
grief.
keep it
You
pushing.
guys are fucking yappers, bro. Jesus.
We talked about that 20
All right.
minutes ago.
Oh, by the way, as always, Mo decides who gets each team, and he always gives me the worst fucking teams in the league. So I'm gonna skip over the Hornets, Washington, and yeah, just those two because he gave me these tanking teams. We're not talking about them today.
No, we all got like 2 to 3 just trash ass teams. My trash teams are the Spurs and like the Portland Trailblazers. Like
So much more interesting than the
you got the
Wizards and the
Pistons?
Hornets.
You got the Pistons? I got the Pistons.
No, did I say Pistons? My bad. I meant to say the Spurs and the Blazers. I
He
don't
didn't
have
say the Pistons. Donovan is just mishearing you.
No.
Yeah.
Isaac, you said Pistons.
I did not. I said
Trash
Hornets and
is
Washington.
trash. You guys are talking about trash in different forms that we will
I didn't
not
say
be
Pistons.
talking about.
Run it back.
Anyways, Mo, who's your first team?
Yeah, anyways, moving on to that. The Milwaukee Bucks, they have
Okay.
huge problems to answer. And of course, like a lot of people have already been super down and out on Doc Rivers. Just in general, his reputation hasn't been the best in the NBA community. You know what I'm saying? Leads the league and blown 3-1 leads. Hasn't won
polite way to put it.
anything of like substance since like the Obama administration, back when Hummers were out and popping. It's been a long time since he had really like any real emotion, you know? And so him starting out 3-7 isn't, you know what I'm saying, the greatest thing in the world. But at the same time, you'll see some Milwaukee Bucks truthers, not to say that I'm one of them, be like, yo, the Los Angeles Clippers started out even worse than that. And look at them now. So I guess the biggest question for them is, can they solve their defense? Is Patrick Beverley along with Doc Rivers enough for that? I've said from the start of the season, this team just does not look right. And they got away with it just off of straight up talent. And they're going to continue to like being just straight up. They're going to continue just straight up be great because of Giannis and Dame is on their roster. They'll have one of the 5 best offenses in the league. But their defense just continues to be worse and worse and worse. I looked up a random stat earlier before the pod when it comes to just things like boxing out. They're the 4th worst team at doing those little things in the entire NBA. They're one of the worst teams in the entire NBA when it comes to forcing turnovers, you know? And the more so the boxing out part just tells me like, yo, this is just straight up effort. You can't squat down a little bit and fling your arms out. Like, what's going on here, you know? And so there's a lot wrong with this team. And can they fix it? I don't know. My question is to you guys.
I think,
do you think they will?
Do I think they'll fix it? Like, do they think they'll be a championship contender? Who knows? But listen, in the last 10 games since they got Doc, they're 3-7, like you said. Dame's missed a lot of those games. Chris Middleton's missed almost all those games. So I like to punch down to Doc as much as anybody. He's a very underwhelming coach over the years. I'm not putting too much stock in the 3-7 record yet, but in that 10 games, they're 12th in defense. So like he has came in and fixed some of that low-hanging fruit they had before. The transition defense has gotten better. The rebounding has gotten better. I think they'll probably be closer to that than they will what they were early in the season when they were like 25th in defense.
Yeah.
So a big problem right now is that, like I said, Dame's been hurt. And before the All-Star break, he just was not looking good. He had a rough stretch. So I'm honestly getting more concerned about that than I am with their defense, which is not going to be good by any means, but I don't think it'll be like impossible to win with.
Yeah. They have a problem now that Doc Rivers is their coach. The defense is like, it is what it is. I don't think that this I don't think that this team is going to get back to their defensive ceiling. And so at this point, you're just hoping that Dame can knock down enough shots from the perimeter and that Chris Middleton can look somewhat what he looked like a couple years ago before he got hurt. I think for them, it's going to be very, very hard. And you said that you don't want to punch down on Doc Rivers. I don't think I'm punching down when I say they have.
I said I do like punching down Doc Rivers.
No, but you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it right now.
It's not earned. I'll wait till he earns it. Right now I'll wait.
I'm gonna do it right now because they need to overcome not only a rough and tumultuous start, but they have to overcome the Doc Rivers tax. And
oh gosh,
because Doc Rivers is scammer of the year, right? He is, and for Doc Rivers to be on the phone with Bucks manager and be like, "Yo, why are you doing this? Like me? You're calling me? Like
He's a fucking liar.
Yeah, he knew this was coming. He was probably feeding Adrian Griffin all the wrong information, bro.
He's a gaslighter.
There's just a lot that Doc Rivers has said a lot of stuff over the last like week and a half where you're just like, is this what's supposed to be coming out of our head coach's mouth? And it feels a little weird. I'm very curious to see what they look like after the All-Star break, see if they can actually come together. But I think that this team has a lot of things not going for them. And it's just, I don't know if they're going to be able to solve them. They'll be better, but it really just depends on what your definition of solving is.
Yeah. I think, like you said, the defense is what it is. I agree.
Yeah.
Their ceiling is around what they have been in the last 10 games, the 12th best defense in the league. If they can do that, if they can be 12th, 10th to 12th, they'll be fine come playoff time. I'm at this point more concerned about can Doc figure out how to maximize Dame. Dame is just all year, hasn't looked like Dame, hasn't been comfortable. Giannis does not want to set screens for him every play. They got to figure out a way to make those guys coexist and get the most out of them. And that's a tall order. We'll see if Doc can do it. He's not exactly the X's and O's genius to make it happen. I'm not sure that can be fixed. I think that's a bigger issue in the defense at this point.
Yeah, the only way that the reason why you trade for Damian Lillard is because you want the supernova version of Damian Lillard, and he's been so very much far from that. You know, there's this viral clip that went on before All-Star Weekend when the Bucks went against the Minnesota or Memphis Grizzlies, where he just like did not look for a shot whatsoever. And I'd more so blame that towards like, it's the last game before All-Star Weekend. No one's going to remember this game. Who cares? But in general, throughout the whole entire season, we all know stats say it, eye test say it, Dame hasn't been Dame, and they just need to figure out a way to coexist on the court rather than just like existing on the court.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I see what you're going for there, but I think one of the words got mixed in there. I'm a bit confused.
When I say coexist, I mean like they need to work together. And when they're on the court, they just are on the court wearing the same jersey. You know, they're just existing.
You're right, yeah. Yeah. Just wearing the same jersey is a great way to put it. They're just teammates. They're just coworkers.
Exactly.
That's funny. All right, yeah, we can move on. We've talked at length about the Bucks and their issues. We all know what they are at this point. They're much talked about.
Yeah.
Pain.
What's your next team, Donovan?
Let's see. All right, we're gonna skip. I have the Detroit Pistons. We're gonna skip over them, right? Everything. Also, I'll say this: they need to make sure that Troy Weaver, if he is there next year, they need to make sure that their future is 100% aligned between GM and coach, because they need a lot of changes personnel-wise. There's still a lot going on. They need to make sure that from the top down, they understand what they want the Pistons to look like 2, 3, 4 years from now. Because next year's lost. They're not doing anything next year. I want to talk about the Miami Heat. And the problem that the Miami Heat are going to have to solve is they are going to have to figure out a way to score the basketball, because they are not good offensively. And they've shown us for the last 2 years that in the half court and just overall, their offense isn't great. They are in the bottom third of the league in offensive rating right now. Since Terry Rozier got there, which I think all of us were very, very high on the Rozier trade. He's in the month of February, he shot 15% from three. Now, I do not think that Rozier is going to shoot that for the rest of the year, but it is like kind of concerning that the fit hasn't been as easy, or the transition hasn't been as easy for Rozier to come onto a team that could use his services that well. They're going to have to figure out. The defense is also not great, but I think that for them, they're one of those teams where you can just kind of, flip the switch on and they can really, really lock in. They need to figure out how to score, because if not, it's going to be a first round exit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not overreacting to the Terry thing yet, because listen, 15% is fucking ridiculous, obviously.
I'm concerned though.
If the number one volatility in the NBA is 3-point shooting. If somebody is having a great win streak or a player's on a heater and you see they're shooting 55%, you know it's not sustainable. If they're playing like shit and you see they're shooting 15%, it's not sustainable. Career 37% shooter, he's going to get back to it. And, he played like 6 games and got hurt immediately. So that's been tough. And I can understand that Heat are a difficult team to fit into when you're coming from the Hornets, where it's just like pick and roll, basic ass basketball, and you get to the Heat, who play a real system and have a very specific style of play. But I think the biggest issue is, do they have time for him to get used to that system, right? Like, the playoffs aren't that far away. He's already hurt. We'll see when he comes back. I don't know if it's right away or not. I haven't kept up. Not a lot of time to fully integrate him into the system before the playoffs start.
Yeah, they need to. I'd be worried about how soon and how much time they have to build that continuity, because as like some of us know, Jimmy Butler hasn't been around at all for personal reasons. And so with that going on, and then I said Tyler Hero, Terry Rozier going through what he's been going through with the injuries and just not being himself, and Tyler Hero being out here like 2 weeks ago publicly saying like, I'm just trying to find my role and be more of a catch and shoot guy. There's just so much that they're trying to figure out, and you can tell Eric Spoelstra has been fighting for his life. A couple podcast episodes ago, or maybe it was a stream 9 or 8 p.m. Monday tune in, Isaac said that Bam Adebayo usually goes through his mid-season 2-3 weeks out from All-Star break like slumps, and he's gone through that. So they're cheeks right now. But do I trust Eric Spoelstra to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, get shit right like he magically does? Yeah.
Yeah, he has solved this problem before, and that's why I don't think a lot of us are concerned about whether or not the Heat have the ability to fix the problem again. But it is a problem, right? It happens. It happens every year, and so now we're gonna have to figure out: can you guys take the step forward? Can you guys start looking like a competent offense? Because when you go, like, the East is low key for the taking, or at least trying to get to the conference finals with Embiid out, with Boston and some of their issues. There's a path to the conference finals, and if Miami starts to click, I think a lot of people will start to trust them a little bit more. So yeah, let's figure out this offense thing, Eric.
Eric,
right, I like it.
That's hilarious.
Next team we're going to talk about. Let's talk about the Timberwolves, who I think are a very interesting team. You know, throughout the whole season, we've been high on them, but trepidatiously. You know, we've like, every time we do like a tier list type thing, we're like, they're A tier for sure. They're one of the best teams in the league. Top 4 in the conference, obviously. Top 3, fair. But we're very hesitant to put them with the top tier competition of the Nuggets, the Celtics, and the Clippers, who I think right now are clearly the top 3 teams in the league, because we've been a little bit concerned about their offense, particularly in the half court, and how it's going to look come playoff time. You know, obviously they're winning with top tier defense, but offensively for most of the year, they've been a little bit subpar compared to the other contenders in that realm. And that's obviously something that comes to light come playoff time. And I've actually been a little more impressed with them over the last 10 games. I think they've been better than people realize offensively. They've risen up to having the 12th best half-court offense. So I'm getting a little bit less concerned with that as time goes on.
Let's talk about the Monte Morris effect.
Well, he hasn't been there that long, but yeah. But my biggest thing I think they have to solve is the turnover issue, and whether or not you can trust Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns in a playoff series to be late game decision makers. Because even if the half-court offense is going to be good like it is now, it's 12th in the league for the whole season, which I imagine that must mean they must be like top 6 in the last 10 games. In a playoff series where let's say you play the Clippers, they're going to play a heavy switch defense against you. They're going to make Karl-Anthony Towns attack smaller guys. They're going to make Anthony Edwards attack bigger guys, right? This team is 28th in the league in turnover percentage because those two lead offensive players aren't the best passers in the world, aren't the best decision makers. And I think in a playoff setting where you ratchet up their defense and you really try to take away what they do well, there's going to be a ton of pressure on them to really make plays for themselves and others. And that's the biggest thing that they have to continue to really strengthen as the season ends.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Yeah. I think that for them, it's funny because like you say it's a problem, but it's really a question of, can you trust them? Right? Because
I guess, yeah.
Because
they really are.
Yeah. You're not going to change. You're not going to rewire Anthony Edwards' brain in 3 weeks. You're not going to rewire the way that Cat thinks or looks at the floor in 3-4 weeks. And so it's a question. I want to know. I want to know what they're going to be able to do. And right now, even though that they are the 1 seed, I think I trust them the 4th most in the Western Conference. I
trust them more than the Thunder right now. I'm starting to believe in them more.
Interesting. Okay.
Woo-hoo, welcome to the bandwagon.
Yeah, just because I'm putting faith in Chris Finch. I think you said it's a question. I think the question is going to come down to preparation. And can Chris Finch put them in a position to succeed and do his part X's and O's wise to, like I said, put them in a position to succeed with those turnover issues and like really attack the weaknesses of the other teams well? And I think I buy him being able to do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can agree with that for sure, because there's just some things that you just don't have an answer for as a coach, and that's just like straight up size, and my players are imposing their will against your players. There's nothing you can do about it. But at the same time, when it comes to other things on the court, like where I might slightly disagree with you, Isaac, is like, will the players like Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards perform and make those right decisions? That I don't know.
Yeah, again, it comes down. I guess it comes down to matchup at the end of the day, because
Exactly.
they're not good at that, right? Like I said, they're 28th in turnover percentage. This is a team that will put the ball on the ground and give you a way to get back into games against top competition. That's a hard thing to come across on any given night, where it's a close game, and that can be the late game decision making that decides the game. So yeah, I don't know if it's a problem they can solve, but it's their biggest problem, because otherwise than that, they're pretty fucking great right now.
They are immaculate. And also, they just re-signed Mike Conley to a 2-year deal, which is like fantastic news. I think a lot of people were sledding him out in potential like off-season scenarios. I was one of them, at least. And to see that they like just retained him is a great sign.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on from them quickly, though. You know, they're one of the more positive teams in the league right now. Not a lot of big problems. What's your next team, Mo?
I think by far, at least to me, the most interesting team in the NBA has been the New Orleans Pelicans, because they've been so good but not in the way that a lot of people would imagine them being good. They're a much better defensive team than any of us could imagine, with a team that has a front court of Zion Williamson and Jonas Valanciunas, who absolutely do not have a reputation of being good defenders in the NBA, you know? And
they're up to 7th on defense in the year? I didn't even realize that.
They're up to 7, bro. That just doesn't make any sense. But all that does tell me is like what Willie Green has been doing. His game plan offensively has been good, and defensively he's been absolutely cooking. Now, for the New Orleans Pelicans, like, I have slight worries though, because if you look at some of the net ratings between lineups that involve like guys like Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson and CJ McCollum, who are obviously the 3 most highest paid players on the team, their big 3, hasn't been great, you know? And whenever you don't have those 3 in there, and you have some combination of either like Trey Murphy or Herb Jones or whoever else you want to throw in there, extra shooters, it looks a lot better. And this just tells me what we've been saying since like the start of the season. We've been questioning just how good your team could be when they're being led by Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. And that's like the end all be all when it comes to how far they'll go in the playoffs.
Yeah. So what's your biggest problem?
Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram, and how far these two will go eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, again, it's tough when we've talked about it at length already, that these two players don't really complement each other. They're not getting the most out of Zion with a Brandon Ingram and a CJ McCollum and a Trey Murphy and a Jonas Valanciunas and everybody else around them that has to eat. They don't prioritize Zion enough, I don't think. And it's going to be hard because, listen, defensively, I was looking at the numbers. They are currently 29th in the league in amount of threes given up. They give up a ton of threes because they don't want to give up at the rim, and they help off and let you take corner threes. So they give up the second most, but right now they're first in the league in percentage shot against them. So they let you shoot there a lot, and the people aren't making them right now, which to me screams a little bit inconsistent. I mean, what's the word?
Fluky?
Unsustainable.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you let people shoot there a lot and they just don't make them at a certain point, it has nothing to do with you, which maybe they're good at deciding who shoots those threes. But in the playoff series, that's going to be a harder and harder thing to be consistent at. So I don't know.
But something, while you say that, they are the 6th best team in the NBA when it comes to not letting teams score in the paint. So they collapse a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really know what to do with that stat sometimes, because if you look at who's number 1, it's the fucking like Chicago Bulls. It's just like, okay, interesting. But game plan is working, and they're getting there, figuring out ways to utilize what Zion Williamson does, which is just like take up a lot of space, and Jonas Valanciunas is a big body. So like, if you're a Pelicans fan, you should be happy and proud of what this team has been able to do. But can they hit that next gear with that duo? Not really sure. That's the problem.
Interesting.
All right, cool.
All right. What's the next team, Donovan?
We're going to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies, who are horrendously down bad right now. However, I don't think that that's their biggest problem. I think that their biggest, because Ja's gonna come back. At the start of next season, everybody's gonna be healthy. They need to figure out a way to replace Steven Adams, who they shipped out, right? For them, Steven Adams was a very, very underrated piece in the things that they did last year when he was healthy, but he wasn't on the floor. They were one of the worst teams in terms of rebounding. Offensively and defensively, they need to figure out a way to really get a big man, get a center who can play alongside Jaren Jackson and let Jaren do all the things that he's great at, right? They have a lot of young pieces. You have the offensive talent with Ja. That big man position to be complementary with Jaren, that's their biggest need right now. And if they can figure that out, then they're going to be fine, because the last time we saw something like that together, they were the 2 seed in the West. And so that's their biggest issue for me.
And now they got Vince Williams Jr. and Gigi Jackson as a wing duo who are going to be awesome for them long term. Vince Williams, great defender. Gigi Jackson, super skilled shooter, able to put the ball on the ground a little bit.
Yeah.
I agree. If they can fix that position that they just need to replace now, they're going to be nice next year.
Yeah, I agree.
But also, they're going to have a high draft pick to potentially trade or pick a center. So there's a path to them getting a new Steven Adams replacement.
Yeah, exactly. They have like a multitude of ways to get there, and this is just like, I hate to say, like, I don't want to say injuries or whatever, anything is like good, but this is just another format, another way to look at the positive situations in such a dark time for Memphis basketball currently.
Dark time.
It
got killed.
Ja just hurt his shoulder. Yeah, Ja just hurt his shoulder, and they traded one of the most likable players in the entire NBA, or at least likable to me, and Steven Adams.
It's honestly one of the most unfortunate seasons in a long time. Like, the amount of injuries they've had is like comical.
They already had to go through bullshit at the start of the season, and then 9 games in, or first game that Ja's back, we literally witnessed him hit a game winner. We were stuffing wings down our throats. Pause. But yeah, it's just down horrendous right now, bro.
That was crazy.
Was I not telling the truth?
All right, next team.
I don't even remember.
Next team.
All right, man. Let's talk about the Toronto Raptors. Let's get them out of the way.
Poop.
Their biggest problem right now is, since making the move to build your team around Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel Quickley, both those two guys have had to come into a new role of sorts. You know, Scotty Barnes is playing next to Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby. So he played a tertiary role offensively, even though they were prioritizing him more this year. But, Siakam demands a lot of attention. He's a volume shooter. And OG Anunoby is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league and always took the hardest assignment every night. Since those trades, Scotty Barnes has had to move up to be the number 1 offensive option and basically the number 1 defensive option, stepping into OG Anunoby's role. That slowed him down a little bit. But the biggest problem is that him and Quickley are not on the same page at all. Emmanuel Quickley is also having to adjust to playing a bigger role in a team. He's a 6th man before. Now he's the lead guard there. He had a comment, the media today actually, at the first practice back, where somebody asked him about that, adjusting to his new role. And he's like, listen, I was the fucking 4th name on the depth chart in my last team. Teams were not worried about me. They weren't game planning how to stop me. And now they are. And I think the numbers bear that out. Whenever those two guys are on the court together, they have a minus 2.5 net rating, which you look at any team in the league's best 2 players being on the court together. If you look at the best teams in the league, a Jamal Murray and a Jokic, it's going to be like a plus 12 or something. Like, even mediocre teams, I'm sure you can look at, Zion and Ingram. They're still going to be plus 5 or whatever. So to be minus 2.5 net rating when both your best players play together, it's just a terrible place to start and shows that they aren't on the same page at all.
Emmanuel, get in the lab, right? That's what this summer should be about. Don't go anywhere. Don't go on these trips. Get in the gym. Work on your game, right? Because it's a legitimate issue for a lot of guys. And we talk all the time about making the jump from good to great is one of the hardest jumps in the NBA. And now that he is experiencing this and everybody is game planning for him, he's gonna have to figure it out. I have confidence in him that he will, especially because Toronto doesn't really have any other option outside of Emmanuel Quickley figuring it out. But yeah, listen. Go get your 2K, get your 2K VC, right? Upgrade your attributes, do what you got to do. But that's
the Gatorade Training Center.
That's really all it comes down to.
Again, this is, like you said, it's a normal thing, but comes a time, they need to take their lumps and need to be put in the situation. And that's what this year is for. So the biggest problem that needs to solve is, can they get them enough reps this year? So going into next year, they're prepared to be in these new roles.
Yeah, exactly. I can 100% agree with that. But hey, on the positive outlook for Toronto Raptors fans, if Emmanuel quickly doesn't end up being that guy and he has to be relegated back to a bench role, it's not the end of the world, because there's a certain Rob Dillingham in this up-and-coming draft who will be a perfect fit next to Scotty Barnes. And I have good news for Raptors fans. They ain't winning shit this year. They're going to be in the lottery. So,
yeah, they might keep that pick.
Yeah, exactly. There's a strong chance that they keep that pick. And another positive thing too is like RJ Barrett has been actually playing good, consistent basketball, and I guess him being home just turned him into a different player. He's been making all of his shots. Still been struggling from the free throw line per usual RJ Barrett things, but he's looking like a real sustainable option, which is always like really nice and useful to have.
Yeah. Well, there you go. What's your next team, Mo?
Yeah. So leading into my next team, one of the best teams in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Actually, as of the last 20 games, the best team in the NBA. Quite literally, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
It's been insane.
It is very hard to call out a specific problem for this team because they've switched up the entire flow of their identity due to personnel changes, aka injuries happening earlier in the season, and they've been thriving. And now, since then, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland have been back in the mix, doing their thing. But specifically, Evan Mobley has been making a conservative effort to start hitting threes on a consistent basis. I said conservative. I don't know why I said that, but anyways,
concerted effort.
Yeah, I'm gonna say conservative. Yeah, I said conservative. That's fucking hilarious. But yeah, no, if I was to look at this Cleveland Cavaliers team who have been hitting it on all cylinders, my question is, can they figure out how to use the best lineups possible in the playoffs? Will certain guys be okay, sitting at the end of the bench? Will there ever be a future of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen playing together? I just don't know how all this blends in really well for the future.
Yeah, the bigger problem to me right now is Darius Garland. Evan Mobley has looked pretty good since coming back. Like you said, most games he's played in so far, he's hit most of his threes. Still not shooting at a very high volume, but working on it, making the effort, and it's been effective. Darius Garland is still a work in progress. He's the one that they definitely have to figure out how to maximize him with the way Donovan Mitchell's playing this year, where you're not going to want to take the ball back out of Donovan Mitchell's hands at all. He's been their lead guard all year, and he's been fantastic at it. Where does Darius Garland fit into that equation with his game that's very on-ball oriented?
Yeah, that's a very good call out. They have so many decisions to make over these next 6-7 months or so, and it all looms around Donovan Mitchell. But yeah, I think you may be cooking with that one. Maybe Darius Garland may be the most expendable piece out of the three, which the three being Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and Darius Garland. And if that's the case, then goddamn, they just put themselves in the fucking driver's seat and can do a lot of different things in the offseason.
Yeah. It's really, I don't know. It's interesting because I feel like a lot of the problems for a lot of these teams, they're very macro. Outside of the top teams, but we know what the issues are for the Cavs. We've talked about this for a year and a half with the Pelicans. We've talked about this for a year and a half. The question or the problem that a lot of these teams have to solve is: are you going to have the balls to do something about it? Right? I think it's very clear that as good as the Cavs are right now, they're not going to win a championship with these four guys. You're going to get to a point in the playoffs, and this is
sure.
I'm very sure, and I think with
those, put Morgan's down if you're sure.
I promise you, I would that the Cavs are not going to win the championship.
You would do that? You're that confident? Wow.
Yeah, but I do think that Mo's question is valid. Are one of the guys going to be okay if they're not out on the floor, or are we even going to get to the point where those guys aren't out on the floor, and are all four of them just going to play out of pride? I don't think they're making the finals. I don't think that they're going to win the finals. But that's, I don't know. A lot of the stuff that we've been talking about, I've been kind of quiet because I've been sitting here just thinking about a lot of the issues. I'm like, we kind of know what's going on, and they feel very obvious in a way that when we were planning for this episode, I didn't think that they were as obvious. But hearing everybody say it feels that way.
Yeah.
Well, We can just pick other issues that aren't the obvious ones.
I know,
There's
yeah,
more
yeah.
things to talk about than trade Darius Garland. It's just got to be that.
maybe it's our fault. We didn't pick the right problems.
The problem is
but they're an
time.
interesting team.
Yeah.
We need time to go ahead and see what the fuck they got going on.
Yeah, it is what it is that they have conflicting play styles. That it's not a thing like it is with like the Pelicans, where I think inevitably they have to make a change that I don't think it's going to work long term. I think it's possible. We're seeing this team be really good. You just got to figure out the ways to make it work, right? Mm-hmm. Figure out the ways to divvy up the offensive possessions. Figure out the ways to stagger Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland to get the most out of all of them. It's very possible adjustments to make. Can JB Bickerstaff do it? We'll see.
Yeah.
Tragic.
All right,
man.
cool. All right.
Who's next?
Let's move on to another team, and another team that has a very obvious flaw. We're going to talk about the Indiana Pacers and the fact that they can't guard anybody. And they are going to need to figure out how to defend, because right now they have the 5th worst defense in the league. Even after getting Pascal, the lineups with Tyrese and Pascal on the floor are amazing defensively. And obviously their style of play leads them to not be great defensively, right? They have made a concerted effort to play a very fast and like up and down, very free flowing style of basketball. But I think that if you are going to have Pascal, who's a solid defender, and you're going to have Tyrese as your point guard, you're going to need to fill in the gaps very well with defenders. And I think that that's something that they kind of tried to do with Bruce Brown, right? Bringing him in. But now that Bruce Brown is gone, and now that Buddy Hield is gone, the rotation around those two guys is very, very open to have a lot of like good to elite defenders. And they're going to have to figure out a way to really lock down because it's kind of the same thing that we were talking about with the Kings last year, where next year, if you don't have the best offense in the NBA history, if you don't have the best offense in the league, you're going to have to kind of, come right back down to the middle, and the defense is going to be the way that they're going to do it.
That sounds like if they don't evolve eventually and like tighten up on some of those things, that sounds very Sacramento Kings-esque to me.
Exactly.
Man.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think they'll get to that point though, because Tyrese is great.
And that's fair. But they did the hard part, right? The hard part is upgrading at talent. The hard part is getting somebody else who's all NBA into the building. And they accomplished that. So now you have two players who are top 35, top 30 in the league that you can build your team around. You got the guy who didn't really want to be there in Buddy Hield. You got him out of there. And now let's start to build, right? Next year, let's see if we can upgrade with some more star talent or just really build around the margins defensively.
I think the biggest problem is Benedict Mathurin ever going to pass the ball or play defense at any point of his career? Is he ever going to decide to do something other than get a bucket? That's my biggest worry for them, because he's a swing factor in their development of this team. Obviously, Siakam and Tyrese are who they are. Great starting point. Miles Turner is a fantastic center to play next to stars. The wings are the biggest question. We know Nesmith is going to be a 3-and-D guy. We don't really necessarily need a big jump from him. But that shooting guard spot is open now with Buddy Hield out the door. Ideally, it'll be Mathurin long term. But right now, I think he has a lot of development room that we've yet to see progress in. Averaging less than 2 assists a game, which is a very, simplistic way of viewing his passing ability. But you watch him, you don't see anything much better either. I regularly see Pacers fans I follow complaining about him, that just black hole right now. And if he's not going to make a big leap, that's a position they need to upgrade in the offseason with the money they have. I'm not sure how much cap space they're going to have. I forget. But to me, it's finding the shooting guard of the future. That's going to be the big swing piece for them.
Yeah.
That's a very fair assessment. But I will say again, to the people out there at home, why are you surprised? This is the same dude who came in before he played a single game in the NBA who said he was like, yo, I'm the best player in the NBA. He was like, I'm better than LeBron. Just straight up, just laying those groundworks out there. That right there should just tell you, nah, man, we might be cooked when it comes to expecting him to develop as a playmaker in any type of form or limelight at all, bro. They had this man coming off the bench for Buddy Hield, who was even a deeper black hole, bro, and Andrew Nembhard sometimes, bro. So it's like, can he ever grow out of that? Don't fucking know. Only time can tell. But if he does, you're absolutely right, Isaac. He is a swing factor, the X-Man, whatever word that you want to use for him. He'll take them to that next level and be that third option that every team would love to comfortably have.
Side note, Buddy Hield has been a fucking flamethrower in the 4 games he played with the Sixers. Obviously, they have no Joel Embiid, so somebody has to take a lot of shots.
Yeah.
He's shooting 10 threes a game, shooting 45%. Just is not missing.
Wow.
This man 242 boss man really fucking hated the streets of goddamn Indiana. I don't blame him, Isaac, because hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. As soon as I got out of that goddamn city, I started waking up and sleeping a lot better, bro.
All right, but moving on to the next team. Let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. Let's talk about a fan favorite. Another team people want to hear us talk about. I think their biggest problem is, can Draymond Green be the full-time center forever? Is that sustainable for him, for the team? Is that going to cause rebounding issues long term? And I guess the bigger question is, the answer to that's probably no, right? I imagine they don't want him to be a full-time center forever. So it's, what's the alternative? Like, what do you do if not having him be center forever? Because clearly playing Kevon Looney is not an answer for them as they're trying to maximize Jonathan Kuminga, maximize Draymond himself and everything. Yeah. So I guess the problem they have to solve is, what's the counter to that? And, in a playoff setting, we've seen them go to this for years, so it's nothing new. But to do it for a sustained period of time, 30 more regular season games, plus that being the norm going to the playoffs, that brings a lot of pros, right? Like I said, it's maximized Kuminga. The passing that he brings from the 5 full time has been awesome. It's just been like what we've seen them do in spurts, but as the main look. But that brings negatives too, right? They're a very small team. They're really relying on Wiggins to have max energy and really bring them rebounding. And I don't know if you can rely on that full time.
Yeah, I feel so like it's so nice to see them playing great basketball and Draymond being like, this is one of the best versions of Draymond that we've seen in a couple of years. And that's a lot to say because like they literally won a championship in 2022. But with all that being said, like, you need counters in the playoffs. And I'm not sure if they have the answer to that on their roster currently. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a perfect answer. That's a perfect question to ask for this team. Because if you're going against a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves or the what's another big team out there that's pretty obvious? Obviously, the Denver Nuggets. Like, what are you going to do once that Serbian dude turns his back around? Like I said, bro,
the Lakers. You don't do anything. You don't do anything. They don't have any counters. No, this is an
get someone from the tasers. Get someone from the stands again to tase him. That's the only option.
You're right.
I forgot about that's a felony.
I forgot about
if the season ended today. They play the Lakers in the play-in tournament. That's a big fucking team.
And you can do it in one game, right? If it's a 1-game series or a 1-game sample size, you might be able to steal one. They have been so down bad that this is the one thing that has like worked and revived them. And finally, you have Draymond on the floor for a consistent amount of time where he's not going crazy. This is who the Warriors are moving forward. So good and bad, yeah, this is what it's going to be. And so they're going to have to, it's funny. If they had a very athletic big man, right? Somebody who could rim run and jump high, someone like what we thought James Wiseman could be, they could be cooking, but they don't. And so this is what they are.
Yeah.
You know who would be super useful?
In these last 10 games, they're 6th in defense, 4th in offense, and 2nd in rebound percentage. Can that be sustainable is my question. If that's the problem, is that I guess that's not even a problem. I guess this is more of a question because in the 10 games with Draymond here, they've done everything right. So I guess I'm kind of framing it as if it's a problem when so far it's not. So far it's been completely effective and everything you'd want from them.
But you see the writing.
It's just the problem. Yeah, well, the problem is just like all your eggs are in this basket, and like Mo said, you need counters. Are they going to have options? Are they going to have another look they can go to,
No.
or is this the bed that they're putting themselves into, and this is the look they're going to have to go with in every playoff series?
Look, man, if I am the Golden State Warriors, I'm paying very close attention to the streets, to the jails, the prisons of Detroit to see if that man, Isaiah Stewart, is out there, if he's available. Has he been cut yet? Because if we all know, he recently just punched the fuck out of Drew Eubanks, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie to you.
Listen to Drew Eubanks, he said that shit was slight. He said it was a weak punch.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If that was weak, you wouldn't have took his ass to court.
Exactly.
It's embarrassing, kind of. But yeah, man. Like honestly, I'm seeing so deep into the future, and I'm not sure how feasible this option can be long term.
I mean, listen, if they play like they have been, it's very feasible and they'll be fantastic, but we'll see. And honestly, the biggest problem is Klay Thompson. I'm just trying to skate around it, think of something else creative.
Tragic. He got benched for the first time in a minute before the All-Star game or whatever. But anyways, I guess we go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and talk about some ass real quick, okay? The Portland Trailblazers. Damn, Nikhil, producer Nikhil, dude, you're not doing yourself any good right now.
Horny
Viewers, this
ass.
man is rubbing his hands like he's goddamn Birdman. Look at his lips and all that. Oh my goodness, Nikhil, back up. We can see you, or at least I can.
He started biting his lips, applying lotion to his hands.
Facts, facts, bro. He's ready. But
shit, we're talking about Kyle Lowry. Let's go.
Nasty, man, let's talk about some ass. Someone who's just let us down in all ways. Let Isaac down specifically because he was the most high into it, and I don't think he talked me into this one. But DeAndre Ayton, holy fuck, dude! What the fuck happened? Your job is so simple. You know, well, it's not really that simple, but goddamn, can you just be like good? Because right now, it's fucking like I don't know who would be more useful in an NBA court these days, DeAndre Jordan or DeAndre Ayton. It doesn't fucking matter, bro. Give me either. I'll probably choose Ayton or Jordan on a fucking better night, bro. It's just so bad right now. He hasn't done much productive he hasn't done anything much productive this season, and he's not looking like he's like a valuable piece going towards the future whatsoever. He's just one of those meh, just a contract type of dude. And for someone who's that young, just drafted in 2018, that's not what you want to see or hear and have to experience as a Blazers fan, man. Tough.
Why is he taking less shots than he did last year?
Oh my god, bro!
Just volume.
Number one
That's the biggest
option is
issue.
Jeremy Grant.
He's less efficient, but it's not that huge of a difference. He's at a 50. Never mind, it is a big difference. He's at 56% effective field goal percentage. Last year he was at 59, so he's less efficient. But why is the volume lower? Why is he not getting the? Why is he not? My biggest issue with them is we don't talk enough about Chauncey Billups being one of the least impressive coaches in the league, and we give him a pass because they're rebuilding, and there's been other shitty coaches on more popular teams. Chauncey Billups has done nothing impressive with this team whatsoever. This team is incoherent. They are not playing a style of ball. Like, I think volume of shots is a system issue more than is necessarily just him. He hasn't been effective with it. But if you are putting in a system that makes the guy that you're paying all this money to puts in position to take more shots, what are you doing? They don't know. They want Malcolm Brogdon to cook for some reason. They want a veteran presence. He gets a lot of minutes when he's healthy.
That is true.
Anthony Simons hasn't been that great because they're, again, incoherent. He's taking bad shots. Scoot Henderson has been up and down because they're incoherent. Their offense doesn't know what the fuck is going on. It's like watching the Nets. It's just a lot of free movement and a lot of nothingness that puts nobody in position to succeed. I don't know why we're not talking more about Chauncey Billups doing a terrible job with his whole tenure there.
Well, it's like, what do you expect to do for this man to do? Oh my God, lead us with a team full of like Damian Lillard and Justice Winslow and Nazir Little. Not Justice Winslow, that's past that era, but Nazir Little. Lead us, man. He hasn't had those real expectations, so that's why he's been able to like skate by.
He's made the pieces worse. He's the reason.
No, DeAndre Ayton been ass though. Literally, Devin Booker and CP3 got his ass traded because he just doesn't fucking try. This is just DeAndre Ayton. I think it's not only just Chauncey Billups, it's also like DeAndre and just who he might be. Folks been telling us this for a minute now.
But it's not even just him. Anthony Simons, if you watch him play, his numbers are down now for a decent start because he takes bullshit shots because they don't generate good looks at all. I've watched him a few times over the past couple weeks because I have Anthony Simons on my fantasy team. So I've been watching them a little bit.
Prayers.
Bullshit basketball, bro. I tried to watch a little bit also for Scoot to get a feel for how he's been playing. Bullshit basketball, bro. That team is ass, and we put all the attention to the Wizards, to the Hornets, to the Pistons. This team is just as atrocious from the top down. It's honestly pitiful to watch.
This is hilarious. Man. You guys have a lot to get off your chest about the Blazers, man.
I hate this team, bro. I think I mentioned it last episode. I forget why, but they're skating by because nobody gives a shit. And it's unfair. They need more criticism. We need to shit on them more.
Nah, they suck. Man. It's okay. They'll be fine.
They're so ass.
They won't be fine. But it's okay. It's okay. All right.
Is it my turn?
Wait, is it your turn?
Oh, your turn.
I think it's Donovan's.
Your turn.
All right. Let's 1, 2, or 3. Somebody say a number.
2. Woo!
Right.
Look at us in sync. Look at that.
We're gonna talk about the Boston Celtics now. The problem with the Boston Celtics that they're going to have to answer is, can you guys not be dumb in the last 5 minutes of the game?
Damn.
They offensively, if you look at their clutch numbers, they're actually one of the best clutch teams in the league. They are top 5 in offensive rating and defensive rating in the league. The problem is, eye test, it feels off whenever it gets down to the clutch. Numbers wise, their turnover percentage drops to 12th in the league. It's one of the main things in terms of like their clutch offense or their clutch stats that isn't on par with the rest of everything else that they do in terms of like like offensive rating, defensive rating, rebounding percentage, all that type of stuff. The turnover percentage falls way down to 12th. And if they can tighten up just a little bit, they can hold on to the ball a little bit in close game situations. I think that over a regular season, you're going to be able to stack up wins. You're going to be able to, eventually like talent your way to some wins on like a Tuesday night or whatever. If we're in the playoffs and that turnover percentage and you are not taking care of the ball down the stretch of games, those are swing games. You are going to eventually lose out on those. So my thing for them is Jaylen Brown going to, is he going to be able to contain himself? Right, when he's handling the ball, is Tatum going to be able to make the correct decisions? Are Derek White and Drew Holiday going to be enough of playmakers to set everybody else up in late game situations? That is my question. That is the problem that they have to solve. And if they do solve it, they're winning a championship. But it's a very big if right now.
You say the numbers are fine, but the eye test looks bad, which is a funny way to fucking frame it. You're like, by the way, this isn't true, but it feels this way. But I know what you mean.
Yeah,
because the game, I think the difference is there. You're probably remembering the games where Kristaps Porzingis doesn't play because they are night and day different teams. When he's not out there, that offense goes to shit in the final minutes of the game. When he's there, they're largely fine, so he's the biggest swing factor. But I think the biggest reason it feels that way is because they just don't get to the rim at all. It was well talked about. Jason Tatum likes to take jumpers like he's built like Steph Curry, when really he's built like LeBron James, and he doesn't understand that and doesn't know the gravity he has as a slasher, refuses to do it. And that's been the biggest problem, right? They're 27th in rim volume. That stands out in the end of games whenever you have 47 minutes of games played, your legs are tired, you're already a 3-point heavy team. You're probably going to resort to that because, listen, the other team, they have Giannis in the paint. They're not going to want you to get there. They're going to make it real hard, even harder than they did beforehand when you already weren't getting there. You're going to kick out to that shooter. You're going to fall into those habits at the end of the games whenever you're gassed. That stands out extremely in those situations for them.
Tough scene, man. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. And I see all those along with like the other already natural flaws that we thought that their top two players have. The redundancy is still there, but it looks and feels better than previous years, especially last year. Drew Holiday has been doing Drew Holiday things, very underrated when it comes to how he's been quarterbacking the back end of their defense and whatnot. But those problems still lie. And they're, again, like, we can't say anything and leave, like, or at least I can't say anything and have major predictions about them until I see what happens. And yeah, like I see those same problems for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, cool.
They're gonna make the fucking finals, man. They're one of those teams. There's not much to say.
No, that's the thing. The difference between them is: are you going to just make the finals, or are you going to win it? Right. That's where we're at with Boston, is win the championship or not. This is like one of the few flaws that they actually have. So yeah, that's a problem for them.
Yeah, they're one of the most
you really got to pick
teams.
at straws with them because they're so damn near perfect.
Yeah,
exactly, bro. They're one of the most flawless teams in the entire NBA. Like during the trade deadline, all the Boston Celtics fans are fucking maniacs. Of course, every NBA team thinks like, or every NBA fan thinks they have major flaws, but they went ahead and like traded for Jaden Springer, and I'm like, God damn, when does the rich stop getting richer? Like Jaden Springer's a nice player, but whatever. Side tangent. Like I agree. We can move on. To the next team. Team's actually playing on the screen right now, the Atlanta Hawks. Ass. God damn, there's like so much to dive into. Since we've last talked about the Hawks, they have been like a ton of Trae Young trade rumors flying around and stuff like that. But when it comes to just like what's wrong with the team, we all saw the DeJounte Murray rumors. I'd like to go ahead and take the spotlight onto someone else though, and not say something that like everyone basically knows or whatever. So Clint Capella, He's very much on Andre Drummond type of timing. All the Hawks fans, Hawks fans, you fucking know. Every time this dude gets an offensive rebound, he puts this bitch up immediately. Someone could be cutting right in front of his face. He's not passing the ball to you, buddy. He's throwing that bitch up. He is bricking it because sometimes he has oven mitts on when he's close to the rim. How? I don't know. They're probably invisible, bro. Clint Capella, he leads the league when it comes to tip-in attempts. That is very impressive. That just means you have to get a lot of rebounds. But at the same time, he shoots 40% on those tip-in attempts. The only player in the NBA,
is absurd.
40% is disgusting. Right behind him is Andre Drummond right now. It's disgusting basketball that we're witnessing, and I've had to deal with this for the entire tenure. Right now, it's just at an all-time bad for him though. That's it. It's trash.
Damn. Yeah,
Andre Drummond timing for real. That's crazy.
Wow, for the audio listeners, Nikhil pulled up a graphic that Mo's referencing, the most tip-in attempts this season. 80 attempts for Clint, 40%. Andre Drummond has 74 attempts for 39%. Like Donovan said, literally Andre Drummond time. They're head and shoulders above the rest of the league. Next one after that is Anthony Davis at 59 attempts. A whopping 64%. This man doesn't miss those. Jesus Christ. Those two guys stand alone in their own tower of shit. That's crazy.
Listen, not too much, because Wemby is down there at 43.5%. He's not too far behind. The attempts.
Wemby is 19 years old. The
attempts are not there. But that's not what I want to see from Wemby. It's not.
Yeah, Wemby's
you're 7'5",
built like a string bean.
You're 7'5". I can't wait to just switch the football.
I don't care if you're 19. I don't care if you're 14. If you're 7'5", get the tip-ins.
You're going to have the nastiest arguments against this man, bro. And I cannot wait to bring this shit up.
I love Wemby, though. I love Wemby. That's my guy.
I wish I could say that about Clint Capella. Long story short, we can go ahead and turn the page. Clint Capella needs to be gone from the Hawks. It's Onyeka Okongwu's time to fucking shine.
Bet.
Let's go. I saw another name on there. Ivica Zubac was also at 43%. That can transition me to my next team, the Los Angeles Clippers. Woo. This team's biggest problem, and again, this is another team similar to the Celtics that doesn't really have a big problem right now. They're kind of on fucking fire. Up there with the Nuggets as the two favorites to get out of the conference, most likely. I think they're in the up there. Those two teams plus Celtics are the inner circle title contenders. If I'm going to pick a weakness of this team, it's probably dealing with size. Isn't the biggest team in the world, you know? James Harden, Paul George, Kawhi. Who's the other starter I'm blanking on?
Terrence Mann
and Zubac.
Yep.
After Zubac, it's a very small team. Kawhi is essentially their power forward. And it's not a huge problem, you know, brings more pros and cons. But we've seen them lose to the Timberwolves twice in the past month. Obviously, they got to deal with the Nuggets, who have a certain somebody that's a 7-foot monster that's coming to eviscerate Zubac in a playoff series. You know, in those games against the Timberwolves, we've really seen the Timberwolves' like entire blueprint for how to win games work. They outsized them. They beat them up on the rebounds. The Timberwolves had a 33% offensive rebound percentage. Ridiculous. You're getting offensive rebound on a third of your shots is absurd. The Timberwolves got to the rim 41% of the time in that game, 83rd percentile. They shot 78% at the rim that game. You go through all the different signifiers that would make you think about size, and the Timberwolves really succeed against the Clippers. You know, it's just a couple game sample size, but it makes sense, right? Kawhi Leonard is your second biggest player in your starting lineup. That's not the biggest starting lineup in the world, you know, not the strongest rebounding core. A lot of pressure on James Harden to rebound and play defense. Paul George has to really lock in. And I can just see a world where if you're already not the biggest team and the two biggest threats in your conference are fucking gigantic, that could be an issue to figure out. And, you know, they have one PJ Tucker sitting on ice waiting to pull out any moment. Maybe that's why they're saving him for a playoff series, to throw him out there and go harass Karl Anthony Towns. We'll see. But it's something to monitor on a very close to perfect team.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't think that there's much to say. They have all-stars at nearly every other position. So it's like, yeah. it's either Zubac or Terrence Mann that we're singling out. All right, cool.
No, I 100% agree with that. The Clippers are one of the most flawless teams. Crazy to say now, looking back on what they were in the first 10 games in the NBA season. But size is the only real thing. And I believe, like, almost every single team in the entire Western Conference, except for maybe like 2, can say similar things to them, but it just really hurts a team like the Clippers because they're just as strapped as everyone else.
Yeah. I don't. You gave me 3 teams I don't want to talk about, so I'm going to skip the Hornets, Washington, and Jazz. After that, I have 2 more teams left. I don't know how many you guys have left.
I currently have 4 teams left.
Damn.
I know.
Yeah, and I have 5. I guess the 2 like most interesting teams to talk about right now that I have left are the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Houston Rockets. For the Houston Rockets, we can just like get straight into that one right there. They need to figure out one of the biggest problems that they have is Jalen Green. Obviously, we know that he's starting to get like phased out of their young core. Of course, I said it earlier in the season, got his chain snatched by Alfred Sengun. Dylan Brooks is now like one of the more important factors of their team. Fred VanVleet now runs that show. Amen Thompson is there, and also Cam Whitmore. As time goes on and on and on and on, it seems like he might be the answer for this team, long-term solution at that 2 spot. And at this point in time, you have to make a decision on Jalen Green. A lot of fans have started to turn against him, and it's really showing. And now, like, people are at this point to where, like, damn, should we have traded this man at the trade deadline? Because right now, like, this team, they're very much in the play-in race and also in the playoff race at some point in time earlier in the season. And now that's not even fucking up for the question or debate. They're one of the most 500 teams, although they're not 500 right now. They're like 26-30 or some shit like that. And so
one of the most 500 teams, even though they're not 500. What a sentence.
Stamp that. That's a bar.
I feel that. That makes sense.
Exactly. They're not ass, but at the same time, they're not like a great team necessarily. And if you're a Rockets fan, like, this is a good step in the right direction when it comes to development. And now it's just like the huge elephant in the room is like, this dude is a problem. How are we going to fix it?
Yeah, fair. Yeah, at this point, you just got to wait, right? Like, they're at a point where they're waiting and hoping that the small flashes we see of Jalen Green, every year he has these random game stretches where he doesn't miss shots. They're just waiting for that to become a consistent thing. There's very little you can do. You know, there's reports they're considering a lineup change. They decided against that. Ime Udoka said today they're going to continue with their lineup going into the second half of the season.
Yeah.
There's very little adjustments you can make for Jalen Green at this point. Most of the time, he shoots under 30% from 3. When he gets really hot, he shoots, makes every shot, and it looks great. But he's such an inconsistent shooter that it puts you in a tough spot because he shows just enough flashes you can't give up on him, but just enough inconsistency that you're like, fuck, is there any other option?
Yeah. They're in a super tough spot. But again, overall, W season for the Houston Rockets. Can't be too upset.
I mean, we got a few more big teams to talk about before we rapid fire through the ones we don't care about. Donovan, what's your next team?
Big team. Honestly, all 4 of mine can go into rapid fire, but we'll talk about this.
I can go ahead.
We'll talk about this. I'll say this team. The Philadelphia 76ers.
Okay.
Their problem or issue is they need to figure out what they want to do with their cap space this offseason, whether or not they want to go with depth or really go star hunting and get a secondary star next to Embiid, because obviously now that his injury has taken him out of the game for a while, those questions of is he ever going to be healthy enough for a prolonged playoff run get heightened, get louder, and it's a lot to put on Tyrese Maxey at this stage in his career, even going into next year, to be able to carry this team to be competent if Embiid ever goes out. So they need to figure out what they want to do around Embiid and around Maxey.
I like that. Yeah, because it's hard to talk about the Sixers right now because Joel Embiid might be out for the whole season. We're kind of just dancing
waiting
around the truth until they can they're currently clearly grasping for straws, hoping they can surprise themselves and figure out a timeline for him to come back. But it seems like the writing's on the wall that he might be done for the year. So this is the time I'm very okay with looking forward to next season, because if he's out for the year, they're obviously cooked beyond repair.
100%. All conversation is nuked, null and void. What the fuck do you guys want us to talk about? Buddy Hield and him being a flamethrower? Like, I'm sorry, man, I can't do it. I don't got it in me. How they cut what's his name, Daniel House? How are they gonna replace his minutes? I don't fucking know, and I don't care. But another interesting.
Buddy Hield's gonna be a free agent this year. Do you think he's part of the people they give the money to?
I mean,
probably.
It depends if he goes out swinging. Like if he's playing at this level, then you have to give him that money, whatever that money looks like. His value is so hard to gauge, though.
He's probably last case resort. That if there's nothing else to do, you just re-sign him on a team friendly deal. That's a pretty good fallback plan, honestly. If not, he's a 1-year rental, and that's fine too. You didn't give a lot to get him.
A second round pick, so basically nothing. So yeah, I guess so. Buddy Hield's really not like he shouldn't be. You shouldn't build your offseason or heavily plan for Buddy Hield. Just a nice guy to have for sure.
They're trying to use that cap space on Buddy Hield and Gary Trent Jr. Oh my God, it bleeds in hell.
Oh, Gary Trent Jr. Don't put that in the air for Sixers fans. Oh my God, that's gross, bro. Listen,
Klay Thompson's an unrestricted free agent. That's all I'm saying.
Everybody's been putting that in the air, and that would be cool to see. But at the same time, yeesh, man, that's their bang. I don't know how I feel about that.
We'll see, man. Who's your next team, Mo?
Yeah, so my next team, I'm gonna tee up to you guys because I've had like the very same strong stance about them throughout the entirety of the season. The Oklahoma City Thunder. As of late, they made a move in the trade deadline. Obviously, traded for Gordon Hayward. Good move still, but me personally, I would say still the biggest problem for this roster and how deep of a playoff run they can go and how much versatility they have is their big man position. Chet Holmgren is easily one of the 3 most versatile big men in the entire NBA. But who is behind him? Who is behind him when it comes to having that like line of fire? I don't really see too much. I don't think there's anybody there. That's my biggest problem. What are you guys' biggest problem for the OKC Thunder?
Their coach really loves Josh Giddey, and Josh Giddey sucks.
100%.
100%. Sucks is extreme. Sucks is dramatic, but he is not a good fit with his current starting lineup. And he currently has a lot of investment, probably from front office down. His coach really believes in him being a long-term connector on this team and sees a vision of him working and wants that to be the case. So they're trying to play through the issues and find a best-case scenario where plug and play, it works well. His outside shooting is good enough that you can use his passing, use his whatever qualities you want to look for him on the positive side, and yada, yada, yada. But he's actively hurting them on both sides of the ball. Smart teams are realizing they don't got to guard him. Makes his passing less valuable. Makes his rim finishing less valuable. He's not a good defender. I'm more worried about that in a playoff setting than I am the size, honestly.
Talk to him. Yeah, and that is my biggest problem. But I think that Gordon Hayward's going to be able to come in and alleviate a lot of that stuff. The Giddey thing is just much more long term in terms of like how long are they going to stick with Josh Giddey on their team? Are they going to get to a point where they can flip him for positive assets, right? And you don't necessarily like, is Josh Giddey going to get so bad that you're going to have to attach an asset to get rid of him? I don't.
Oh no.
Exactly. I don't think that's going to be the case. Hopefully,
rookie contract.
Hopefully, it never gets to that. But that is going to be something that they monitor. And so, but the big man, they're going to be okay, and there's going to be lineups where them going small, it's going to be like the Clippers where they don't have a lot of size, but it works for them, and they have advantages, and their play style is based off of that. So the same thing goes with the Thunder. They've been able to build this great season, this great resume because of how they play right now. So it's either this or nothing. So I'm okay on the big man thing.
Yeah, me too. At first I was with you, but the more I thought about it, listen, every team has their pros and cons of their style of play. This isn't 1995. It's not like end all be all with size. I know Timberwolves fans might want you to believe that like if you're smaller, you're not going to win in a series. End of the day, you are smaller, but you have better shooting. You have better playmaking. Every position on the court can ball handle, can screen, can shoot. Brings them lots of advantages that you wouldn't have if you play Biyombo big minutes. So
Definitely.
Not super worried about that. I am worried about the 6'8" liability they have on the wing and Giddey, who makes their offense 2 points possessions worse and their defense 3 points per possessions worse, giving him a whopping -5 net rating when he's in the court compared to off the court.
See, I can agree with that, but here's my thing, and I'll give you guys some pushback. With Josh Giddey, you just traded for Gordon Hayward. Isaiah Joe is on the bench. Carson Wallace is still there. You have options, and you have the ability to go ahead and change your fucking mind. But when it comes to like needing another extra big body in there with Chet Holmgren for whatever situation it is, my only issue is that you don't have any options to change your mind. You don't have any counters or anything like that. The line is very
Yeah,
short.
tough.
The list is very short. So that's my biggest issue. With Josh Giddey, he can be replaceable. I can already envision him in closing lineups alongside, or Gordon Hayward in closing lineups alongside Shea and Chet and all that. But you can't fix the issue of like not having enough bigness on the team whenever you need it in those certain instances. And these instances are important in the playoffs.
Yeah, the real problem is if Chet, being a young player, gets into foul trouble in these games. That's when it becomes an issue. Which
Exactly.
like you said, could happen at any moment, and you don't have a big alternative after that. I wonder if they address that in the offseason, because they could have. They could have if they wanted to. So clearly they don't see it as a big issue. I guess it really just comes down to, do we see it become an issue? It'll kind of just be a results-based thing.
I think we say that they could have resolved the issue, but at the same time, like one of the bigger trade targets in my head was like someone like Andre Drummond, but apparently the Chicago Bulls are like 10 toes down on staying and committing to the mid. Outside of that, like they
don't need Andre Drummond because
no, that was just an example.
I know, but like they didn't do that because they want to play 5 out, right? They could have got Kelly Olynyk. Everyone banging on that drum for months, like get him, he's a perfect fit. They didn't do it, so I wonder if they just have more faith in big Jalen Williams than we do.
I think
it's
maybe
teams also trying to price gouge them also along with that, which is very understandable and logical.
All right, yeah. Another one of those teams that listen at the top end don't have a lot of flaws. Maybe their biggest problem is youth, right? Inexperience that come to hurt them like it does a lot of young teams.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I agree. So to speed run through the rest of my teams, I got the Spurs. They just need to get out of the in denial stage that some of their young players are in. I'm looking at you, Devin Vassell. Sometimes I look at you, Jeremy Sohan. Next team we can speed run through. The Phoenix Suns. Wrap Bradley Beal in some bubble wrap at all times. I just saw another injury report today about Bradley Beal. It's a goddamn shame. The Orlando Magic. Get Markelle Fultz out of here. Ship him to some other team that needs like help. The Washington Wizards. It doesn't matter. It's not about them. It's about the Orlando Magic and their development. And that's all the teams I got.
Great. Yeah. I'll let that rapid fire be the rapid fire then. Listen, I have the Hornets. I have written down, get more talent. They stink. They're entering another rebuild after an unsuccessful rebuild because in 1 year they drafted Kai Jones, James Bouknight, and JT Thor.
Tough.
To which, as a league,
it's not a lot of talent.
On his way.
Not a lot of talent. Okay.
They suck, and if they start over essentially around Brandon Miller and LaMelo, which isn't a bad place to start.
And Trey Mann.
Yeah, and Trey Mann. Great. So they have at least 1 more year of needing a good draft class, potentially 2. Not much to say, besides they have to just get more good players because they failed at that so far.
Pain.
Washington, I wrote down, can they find a coach that can extract value out of Poole? Because they're another team like the Trailblazers that are currently in hell, just running around doing a whole lot of nothing. Jordan Poole has quickly become a albatross of a contract. They have to find a way to salvage him, whether it be to make him a part of the young core or to find value so he isn't just going to be a disgusting contract until it runs out.
He's just sad, man. Damn.
For the Jazz, I wrote, can Keontae George be the lead guard of the future? Do they have to go PG again in this draft?
No, they don't, because we got DeJounte Murray waiting for them right now, buddy. Answer.
There you go.
Problem answered. There we go.
Then I have the Nuggets, who I said are currently 19th in rim volume this year and dead last in transition points per play. Can they get past this malaise and actually try so they can do well in those things? Because that's their biggest problem is all the high effort things, running out in transition, getting to the rim, your bench lineups. They haven't been good at this year. I think a lot of that is foot off the gas, waiting for the playoffs to come around. But that's quite the gamble to play when you have to hope they can actually turn it up and that's not just who they are. And if that is who they are, that gives them a little bit less juice than they had last year.
Tough. We ain't worried about them.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, I'm going to go with my rapid fire. I have 3 teams. First one, Chicago Bulls. Listen, figure yourselves out, man. Go handle yourself.
Therapy. That's a problem.
You know what the
Therapy.
issue is. Come on, Chicago. All right, next one, Sacramento Kings. You need more talent, right? I don't think that the duo of De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis is going to be a championship core, much less a core that can make you a top 4 seed, right? Either switch out your parts in terms of Sabonis or Fox, or add another star and get a big 3 going in Sacramento. But you need an upgrade in what you're doing. I think that the base and the foundation of your team is not good enough. So that's what I have for Sacramento. And then my last one for the New York Knicks, The biggest problem that they need to overcome is that the coach tries to kill the player sometimes by overworking them. If he cannot do that, considering that Brunson, OG, and Randall are all hurt right now, or actually no, Brunson came back. But yeah,
Hartenstein.
Yes. If Tom Thibodeau can limit everybody's going to play 47 to 48 minutes a night, we will be good. So yeah, that's the biggest problem they have to overcome.
Well, listen,
There
Donovan.
you go. Yeah, they got to go on strike and form a Knicks labor union.
Yeah,
Facts.
and if that
Fight
doesn't
for
work,
good working conditions.
I'm in New York still. I got the NYPD on my line right now. I am itching to press 911 and call Tibbs out for potential manslaughter.
Manslaughter. Wow.
God.
Yeah, man. That's the end of this. We went through every single NBA team, gave their biggest problem. It's a long episode so far. Mo, what time is it?
Crown Eaters, rejoice! Appear! Show yourselves! It's time.
Woo! Welcome to TikTok time. As always, we're going to start with the draft. This time, we're going to get back to something we did a while ago, I think last year. We're going to draft the worst NBA players we possibly can. You know, we have body, shooting, handles, passing, finishing. We're going to pick the shittiest skills imaginable. But we got a twist. We're going to draft them from only all-star players. So you got to pick the worst skills from the best players in the NBA.
Love it. Love it. A little shake up, little counterintuitive, but it's going to be great.
Yeah, exactly. There's no easy layups, right? There's nobody that you can just pinpoint as like, oh, this is the worst player on his team. We can just pick his.
Yeah.
No layups like that. So you gotta get a little creative.
I already know the strategy behind this. Let's do it.
Do you have a strategy behind this?
Hell yeah. I come with a strategy every time.
And it's only all stars from this year.
Okay. Yeah.
So
makes sense.
keep that in mind.
Makes sense.
All right. So real simple. Let's draft the worst NBA players possible with only skills from 2024 NBA All-Stars. First pick, give me Jalen Brunson's body.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew you were going to go there. It's okay.
Listen, these are the best athletes in the world. Give me the worst athlete of the bunch.
You know what? That's very solid. I think I just went up to you, though. Give me the first white man off the board, Nikola Jokic, to give me his body. If you tell him it's an all-star game, he is not moving at all, bro. And I need that on my team. I need that as a
It's
player.
not an all-star game. that's a big nibble body.
I'm going to tell him it's an
Brunson's
all-star
worse.
game, though. Trust me.
Listen, sometimes I'll be selling drafts. I understand that has become my reputation. Not this one. If we're building the worst player, I got this. Give me Trae Young's body. And give me Giannis'
You're
shooting.
fast.
Wow.
There you go. A little
That's
guy
hot.
that can't shoot is terrible.
Yo, he's a trash ass player.
Come
Holy
on now.
fuck. Okay.
Come on now.
You're cooking. Okay. So that loops back to me. So I got shooting, handles, passing, and finishing left. And with that
Handles
being
isn't on
said,
there. Defense is on there.
oh really, bro? I'm tripping balls right now because okay, no, I'm not. Never mind. Sweet. Okay, cool. So for defense, go ahead and give me the dude who couldn't guard the bathtub in my bathroom, Damian Lillard. I need his defense immediately.
That's good.
Yeah, thank God you did that. There's one more non-shooter here. Give me Bam Adebayo shooting.
Oh, listen, you're knocking down crazy 18-footers. That's not too bad. It's not too bad.
So at least you're quick. I'm not quick and I can't shoot. We're tough. We're cooked. And then we're going to go next. Oh, playmaking? Jaylen Brown.
Oh, damn. He was on the board. That's
I don't
tough.
got one redeeming quality yet.
Damn, he was on the board. That's tough. Pretty much everyone else, like after that, it's like adequate. So it's like, fuck. That might be the steal of the
I can't
draft
dribble.
right there.
I can't pass. I'm not fast. I can't shoot.
It's okay.
What does he do?
That might be the steal of the draft right there. I'm not going to lie to you. What does he do? Did you just build Thanasis? Can he
Oh my
clap?
God. It's always the Thanasis with you.
I know.
Yeah.
Leave him alone.
Leave the
you're
analysis
right.
alone.
You're right. My bad. I gotta respect the ball podcast. All right. So, damn, this is tough now because everyone else on this list is like pretty good at all these things. So for playmaking, give me Kawhi Leonard, I guess. the most mid playmaker ever.
This is a pretty solid playmaker. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, no one's talking about his playmaking though.
All right. For defense, give me Tyrese Halliburton.
Terrible defender.
Cone.
Worse than Dame.
Cone. And then for playmaking, give me Karl Anthony Towns for playmaking.
He's good to throw one into the stands every now and then. I like that.
Yep.
Okay. I like
you
that.
playmaking to the other team.
Damn,
Guys,
bro.
Listen, I'm pretty far ahead right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty far ahead.
I don't know. I have Jalen Brunson's body and Jaylen Brown's passing.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie. Trae Young's body's Trae Young's just a regular dude, bro. He's like 160
fast.
6 foot.
He's quick as hell.
But Brunson is fast and also he's big body as well. He's quick. He definitely is quick.
He's quick. Underrated quick.
Yeah, he's for sure quick. All right, so
He's twitchy.
I guess that's a good way to put it.
Sneaky
that's a good way
athletic.
to put it.
He shifts around a little bit.
Herky jerky.
That's gross, bro. All right. So for finishing, go ahead and give me 35-year-old KD. He don't have no rim pressure anymore. Tough scene. That's the best way I can go.
You're kind of building a really good player.
Am I?
Low key. If he's
Nah,
built like
not
Jokic,
really
he gets to the rim like KD. That's a decent player.
Yeah. Not can get to the rim like KD. It's can you finish at the rim like KD? Getting to the rim is different.
Well, that's his problem. When he gets to the rim, KD's fine.
But you're right.
There you go. You played yourself.
You're talking through it too much. I should have shut up.
There you go. Wrapped your new fucking whole mental gym.
That's hilarious.
Oh, wait. Nobody's picked this yet. Oh, wait, no. Actually,
Do
I'm
it.
not gonna go there.
Do it.
Choke.
Listen, this guy's gotten better defensively. Still not great. Give me Luka Doncic's defense.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Literally, it was either body or defense for him, bro. Like, there's nothing else that could have been chosen.
Listen, he's 6'8" and a little bit more athletic than you think. His body's a little too good for this conversation. Pause.
Oh, man. Oh, God. Dangerous.
Finishing. Where do I want to go with finishing? You picked all the players I wrote down already. Fuck. Everybody in the All-Star game is a good finisher.
I know.
You know what?
I was stuck,
Everybody in the
bro.
All-Star game is a good finisher. Give me the guy with the lowest IQ finishing. Give me Julius Randle.
Oh, forget. He was an all-star.
When it's a good take, he's a great finisher. But he will take the worst shots, the most ill-advised shots at the rim. I need his finishing brain.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's never seen a big man he doesn't want to barrel into.
That's hilarious, bro.
Just a
I love
boy in a
that.
China
That's a good
shop.
pick.
I get it. I understand.
That's hilarious, bro.
Listen, he works on those he works on those muscles. He wants to use them.
Damn. All right. So for shooting, literally every single All-Star is a good shooter. So with that being said, give me someone who was at All-Star Weekend, Donovan Smoot for shooting. If you know, you know. I won. Undefeated. I got the worst
Okay,
player.
I need an actual one for the TikTok because the TikTok people won't get that joke. So go ahead and pick a real quick.
Oh, bro. All right, real pick. Give me Anthony Davis. Someone who was supposed to take 6 threes a game, but ends up taking 2 now. Tough scene.
AD's a good pick. I was going to pick him if somebody took Bam.
You're going to pay for
I had
your
no
crimes,
choice.
Mo. You're going to pay for it.
You're going to send the FBI at my door?
Understand that. It's okay.
You have the clutch collection
time is
now, so
coming,
you're not
dude.
finna hit up Rich Paul.
Anyways, why are you exposing me right now? Like, listen, relax. Anyways, right? For finishing, you can't finish at the rim if you don't go to the rim. So give me somebody who loves step backs and who loves tough middies, Jason Tatum.
That
I see the logic is the
I
best
like
you
the
can
way
do.
you looped it.
It's the
best you can do.
Everybody in the All-Star game is jumping 48 inches in the air and dunking. Like this is all I had.
Listen, it's a good spin on an otherwise unexciting pick.
It's all I
It's
had.
the best you can do.
He's an all-star. What could we do,
I
goddammit?
respect the logic. All right, so
Tough.
my team, my player, my fucking unit I built, the body of Jalen Brunson, the shooting of Bam Adebayo, the defense of Luka Doncic, the playmaking of Jaylen Brown, and the finishing of Julius Randle.
This is
Nice,
just
man.
Jalen Brunson if he didn't have a 3-point shot. Like
Low key.
Damn.
Low key.
that's really what this is.
I feel like
Holy
this is a
shit.
very real player in NBA.
This is
history
Jalen
right now.
Brunson without a 3-point shot.
But
Slightly.
if Jalen Brunson
low
couldn't
IQ.
shoot, if he couldn't shoot, this is Raymond Felton.
Yeah.
True.
Or this
True.
could be goddamn Jordan Poole this season. Tough scene.
He's not built
Good
like
God.
that.
Who you got?
Yeah, so I got Jokic for body, D Smoot / AD for shooting, Dame for defense, Kawhi for playmaking, and finishing, I got KD.
I'm trying to be calm. I'm actually pissed off. I really am trying to be calm. It's okay.
He's so easy to trigger.
He's so heated. I love it.
Nah, bro, because people just be bullying others like for no reason. It's crazy. All right, so for body,
Over one missed
for body,
three-pointer? Shut up.
for body,
I know your capabilities
it
deep down,
wasn't
Donovan.
you on the video. it wasn't you though. Okay. Anyways, for body I have Trae Young, shooting I have Giannis, defense I have Tyrese Halliburton, playmaking Karl Anthony Towns, finishing Jason Tatum. Yeah, outside of finishing, my player's kind of bad.
Is this Russell Westbrook without passing?
Stop that. I mean,
Is this is rookie Russell Westbrook without good passing?
not even.
God, you
Who
just
is-
built Julian Newman. Congratulations, Donovan.
Did you build rookie Dennis Smith?
Is that what I built?
Damn, you actually cooked
Is
with
this Scoot
shit.
Henderson?
Oh, that's tough. I was thinking that too, but I didn't want to say it, to be honest with you.
So he's paying the rookie tax. It's
Yeah.
fine. He'll get better.
Pain.
All right, that's the end of the draft. Next thing we're going to do, a tier list of sorts. We're going to put NBA logos into a tier list. How y'all feel about
Fire. Nah, I'm excited.
We are loving it.
Real simple. I got 12 NBA logos for y'all. We're going to put them in a tier list based on just, I don't know, the design, the vibe, how well it fits the city, you know, just how strong of a logo these are.
Say the word. Say the word.
Aura?
Exactly. That's what we're ranking this on.
I'm happy you got straight to it. Let's do
Come
it.
on.
There we go.
Stop being around the
Let's
bush.
put these NBA logos into a tier list. First off, the Chicago Bulls.
Listen, this is an
Ooh.
S tier logo in my opinion. This is one of the best logos in the league.
Listen, 2012
y'all
era,
agree?
swag era, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing this shit on a snapback.
Woo!
This logo has stood the test of time. It's fashionable. It looks good. It's ferocious. Easy S tier.
That was real fashion.
Y'all-
Y'all don't know anything about that. Y'all don't know.
Listen,
Y'all never wore fire red threes with a snapback.
Back in
What?
2012, 2013, they had the entire nation in a headlock.
Brother,
Very
when
sad.
it
Belts,
gets hot,
camo shorts,
when it
elite
gets
socks.
hot, and you put the snapback on your belt loop, y'all don't know about this, man. These are recipes. This is real
Oh.
fashion.
Definitely yes, dude.
Our viewers were like 2 years old at the time.
No facts.
Literally.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't understand. You weren't outside.
You never will. It's fine. Don't
Quite
even try to
literally.
get it. If you know, you know. You just don't even try to catch up. Next up, the Brooklyn Nets.
This is ass. I'd be the first one to say that. It's just so bland, boring. It's big, bulky. It looks like a police officer badge when I first like,
really
take a quick
does.
glance at it. Bros want to be security. He thinks he's a cop. What the fuck is going on right now? Relax and stick to your job. I put this in F.
This
the
fucking
feds-
Gotham PD.
The feds,
F tier.
F for feds? Yeah.
Yeah, like this is just trash.
Boo.
The colors are cool, black and white. How can you fuck that up? They found a way to fuck that up. Easy F.
Boring font. It's just the ball. No aura.
Yeah, no. Trash.
Fucking crest. Ew. Next up, the Memphis Grizzlies.
Mixed feelings about this one right here.
Exactly.
The colors
Exactly.
are cool.
You got mixed feelings? I think this is hard as shit. I think I'm gonna go A.
Hard as shit is a stretch.
This is a good logo.
Thank
That's a cool looking bear.
It depends on what jersey they cool looking bear. Okay. It depends.
Jerseys are irrelevant. This is a logo tier list.
But that's what I'm saying. It depends on what the jersey is that makes it look better.
Nope.
I
Jerseys
kinda
don't matter,
wanna
just
put
logo.
this as
Look
a
at that
B.
picture and tell me what you think about that picture.
B.
I kind of want to put this at a B because it's just one of those good mid-tier logos. It's nothing ferocious. It's not wearable like the Bulls logo was, but the colors are cool and you can't really overall hate on it. It's just solid.
I think if Michael Jordan played for this team, we'd be looking at this logo damn near the same.
But
That's
he
what you
did
should have
it.
started off with.
But he didn't.
Yeah.
Nobody respects Zach Randolph anymore.
Yeah. Instead, we had Costa Kufic. So it's over, bro. Put this at a B.
You fucking slaughtered that name.
You
But
did.
okay.
That is
Me
not,
too.
that is not his name.
Costa.
That's not what his family calls him.
I hate myself now. What is his name again? Costa
Kufos.
Kustis. There we go.
Kufis.
What the fuck did you just say?
Was that not it?
All right,
You said it 10
next one.
times worse.
You're disrespecting his lineage every time.
I gotta
you say
hear it. I gotta hear the legend, bro. I gotta hear it. Please, someone
That
clarify
was
that.
so bad.
His name is Kostas Kufis.
Did I not say that?
Not at all.
I thought I said for a second
Nowhere-
Costa Cucci.
nowhere
What?
close.
Kufagashi slaughtered it. All right, next up, the Dallas Mavericks.
This is good. This is a good logo. I think this is solid.
Big ass gulp. You gulper.
Yeah,
Yeah, take a second.
my throat's a little scratchy.
Down the
It's-
hatchet.
What is this? Like
Down
a-
the hatchet.
this is like a D. I remember this is
D?
D.
Wow.
It's not good. They need a
What?
rebrand bad. They've had this logo for way too long. I guess they wanted to be like a classic or something. It's not. It looks dated as hell.
It's not good.
Oh my
It's not
gosh.
good. You saw this logo when you loaded up NBA Street.
So?
It's
And?
2024.
What about it?
We have Apple Pro goggles, and I'm still seeing the same thing. Switch it up. Switch it up. Be creative.
No, they need a rebrand bad.
Color outside
guys
the
don't-
lines, Dallas.
I'll go C.
Oh my gosh. You guys don't appreciate the mystical figure that horse is right there, bro. This is a solid B in my opinion. I kind of would put this at A personally.
We can't.
Did you just call it mystical?
Yeah. Do you see that horse? You never seen a horse that looked like that a day in your goddamn life. And you're lying to me if you tell me you did.
Stop that.
Listen, when I grew
This
up, my
horse
favorite
is
movie was
special.
Spirit. I've seen that horse plenty of times.
You were a horse
You
kid?
goddamn liar.
You don't
Were
know.
you
if
the
don't-
horse
no,
girl?
Our fans.
Were you the horse
God.
girl of your class?
Anyway, this is C tier.
He was.
Bro.
He was the horse girl.
No, if you don't watch Spirit, you don't know ball about Disney movies. That was the movie.
This man was calling himself a
hilarious, bro.
stallion.
Stallion. Oh my god, put this shit in C tier. Move on.
Okay. Whatever. This is
Next
a
up.
veto.
The San Antonio Spurs.
Listen, low key kind of hard.
Mixed feelings, bro. It is
It's-
hard.
Listen, I mean,
It's kind of hard because it is a
It's unique.
spur. It is a spur. This is what they look
it's
like.
in the name.
I
When I was a
kinda
kid,
like
I thought it was a field goal post. But
it. Terrible.
listen, it's unique. It has character. Represents the city. Solid B.
I was thinking A.
I could go with A. The colors are very solid. I could go with A for sure. Colors are very solid. The spur
They
is
lean too much
spurring
into
right
gray
now.
these days.
You said what?
I feel like it leans too much into gray rather than black and white. But maybe that's a jersey conversation. So never mind.
Yeah, the logo
That is-
itself is
Put the
very
logo
hard
in A.
compared to its counterpart.
All right, Spurs, welcome to A tier.
We got it.
Next up, the Indiana Pacers.
I feel like we've spent all week hating on Indiana, and now we're just gonna keep it going because this logo
Okay, I was
sucks.
about to say.
This logo
Yeah,
is
no.
trash. It's so
It's
terrible.
awful.
This looks like it's straight out the fucking 70s.
It's awful.
They said-
Put this. What are we doing? F D.
Let's put this in
I'm
F.
fine
Let's
with
be
F,
real.
low-key.
You know
F,
what?
let's be real, bro.
We could put it in D just because it has colors and the Nets logo does not.
There we go. We'll put it in D because we got Gen Z color brain. There we go.
Yeah, nah.
They're
Zero
not even
creativity.
good colors.
Zero creativity, bro.
Never mind. Fuck. I put it in F. The colors aren't even good.
Nah,
Let's be real.
blue and yellow's cool.
You're not gonna
Let's be
respect
real.
them for being able to become an all-star city, bro? Damn.
Good for them. It's not a good logo. The Milwaukee Bucks.
This is the S tier logo, in my opinion. You know how I feel about that goddamn buck.
You are so weird.
I'm not weird. Do you not
You are
respect
weird. No,
how
you're
this
weird.
buck
You're
makes
weird,
you
but
feel?
it's okay. It's okay. Keep going.
Are you not in tune with your feelings and your emotions? Damn.
About the buck?
Yes.
You know how I feel about that goddamn buck. You're plotting.
Okay. This buck
I
represents
agree.
way more than you think.
What does it
What
represent?
the
Easy
fuck
yes.
does that mean?
What are you talking about?
It's bro, the real people in Milwaukee understand this. You don't.
Are you a real person in Milwaukee?
No, I mean, I know people.
All right, I agree. The Buck logo looks awesome. He looks ferocious. He looks swole as shit. I'm cool with the Buck going in S tier.
Fear the Deer, put it in S.
Yep, Fear
Let's
the
go.
Deer is hard as hell.
The Miami Heat.
Also, I would say A tier. I really like this logo.
It could be
Classic
A tier.
now at this point.
Listen, I understand it's old, right? And they low-key have done the same thing, but it works. I like the little ring around it. The basketball on fire. It's a nice little play on it. Not the
No,
best.
very strong logo.
Not the best, but it's definitely A tier.
I kind of would put this in S tier, but I can
word?
understand your argument. Yeah, for sure.
I just think like
the
Not
Heat.
the Bulls logo. The Bulls logo is so ferocious. It's so iconic. The Bucks logo has a little bit of everything, right? You have the circle. You have the letters in it. The Buck looks strong and fierce. Miami's just missing just one of those things. So that's why
It's a flaming basketball beaming at your head. How do you not feel fearful?
because
This
an
might be it,
an animal's soul is not staring straight into my eye.
And it's just a ball. Okay. Your logic makes sense.
I'm cool
Yeah.
with A tier.
It's
A tier is
A.
cool.
It's an inanimate object.
Okay.
The Houston Rockets.
This one kind of sucks.
I was going to
It's
say,
not
I'm
good.
so glad we opened up this conversation. This is ass. It's trash as fuck.
Listen, I've been waiting to say it. No,
Yeah,
they need a
man.
new logo. They need to put a rocket back in that bitch. They need to make it creative, have some life into it. I don't even know what the redeeming quality of this is. It's just boring.
Facts.
I mean, what's
it's
supposed
all,
to be?
And it's all the same color?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
exactly.
nothing's going for it.
Yeah, their logo is probably the reason why they haven't made the NBA final since fucking Hakeem was in that jersey, bro.
That's exactly why. That's exactly why.
They need to use that logo with the astronaut on it that's on their city jerseys.
That's
Make
the
it
good
full-time
one. That's the
logo.
good one. I think they should rebrand the entire franchise into those colors. That would be hard.
Facts.
Yeah,
F tier it is.
he's a very 2004.
Facts. The OKC Thunder.
I
Man,
kind
oh,
of like
man.
this.
Whoa,
I don't think it's bad. I know we've been on the same page, and I might deviate from what we're talking about. I think this
Not
is
good.
I think it's a solid C tier logo.
that fat ass O just kills it for me, man. The colors are cool.
What even is this?
It's like a shield. It looks like a shield, to be honest with me, bro. Thunder.
This is a triangular
G-Unit
basketball.
ass
Put
shit,
this
bro.
shit in
G.I.
D.
Joe ass logo for sure.
Facts. There's Academy Sports at outdoors.
Yeah, no, this shit is it's ass.
Where we used to hoop.
but it's so hard to
Do you
admit
not
that.
have memories of hooping at Academy?
Not enough. This is Dick Sporting Goods. No, get this out of here.
Yeah.
This
C?
is terrible.
Can it be a C?
I was gonna
Or-
go D. I don't like this logo at all.
It's
Nah, put it in
D-type
C.
terrible?
You
What
don't,
does this logo have to do with the name Thunder?
You don't think
I mean,
that this logo is on the same level as the Dallas Mavericks logo?
No. What
Dallas
is there's
Mavericks
no
logo's
Thunder in this
better
logo.
for sure.
So what?
I think y'all misplaced Dallas. That's my issue.
Thunder is such a what's the word? An illustrative word that should have imagery to match it, and it's just nothing. It's just orange.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, I guess the orange and the blue through it
You
is
can't
the
see
thunder, but they could have done a better job for sure.
You're right. You can't see Thunder.
What do you mean?
You're right.
Put this in C. Think about lightning.
All right, you got me. You got me.
C it is.
You
Let's
can
do
put it in C. I lost.
This man wants audio waves on a jersey. Relax.
Facts.
Relax.
Peaking audio file because it's like
Too literal.
oh, it's so trash, but I'll take it. I lost that. The Sacramento Kings.
Listen, I honestly
Some days I
don't know
wake
where
up
to
and I'm
rank
like, this is hard. Other days I'm like, this is trash as fuck. One of the worst logos I've seen in my entire life.
This is your purple bias coming out. Your fucking favorite color you're obsessed with. This is not a good logo.
The gray kills it all for me because it's like, where the fuck that shit come from, bruh? It couldn't
Such a
have been
2011 ass font, man. That modern ass font. It looks terrible. It looks Tron Legacy shit.
Isaac is in his bag right now. Listen, we don't have a logo in D tier, so let's just put this in D tier because it's not great.
It's occupy its own space.
Yeah, D tier is perfect for it. D tier is perfect for it.
There we go.
It's just
There
so
we go.
mid. No thoughts.
All right, last up, the Golden State Warriors.
Damn.
It's good. It's certainly really good.
It's teetering
But it's
between
not
S
great
and A.
though. What?
Yeah, it's got to be up there, right?
It's one of the best logos in the league.
It's a strong logo. It's the Golden Gate Bridge. It suits the community. It's perfect.
You let a bridge sway you, man? What the hell? If you want to see a bridge, I'll take your ass outside right now. This does not sway anybody. How?
If you would take me outside and see the Golden Gate Bridge, do it. It's a cool bridge.
Listen, I live in the Bronx, so it's gonna take a little 45-minute commute, but I can still show you the goddamn bridge, bro. It doesn't warrant an A or an S.
You're finna show me the world's shittiest bridge.
Yeah, nah.
She's gonna be over a storm drain.
Hey, listen, a bridge is a bridge, bro.
Put this in A.
Yeah, we can go A. I low key S, but we can go A.
S is crazy as fuck. I'd live with A. Whatever.
You understand? You understand what we're doing? Inanimate objects go in A. If you have an animal and it's actually a good logo, you go in S. That's kind of the differentiator.
That's actually what we did.
You guys are terrible. Damn, bro. The Mavs, man, you guys hold the Mavs for sure. But whatever.
The Mavs logo is mid. It looks outdated as fuck.
Never mind. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut then.
Why are you fighting for this Michael Finley logo? Like, relax.
Because the Michael Finley logo took me through some times of my life. That's why. You won't understand.
You have nostalgia for the fucking Mavericks logo?
Yeah, man.
This man loves
You
Josh
romanticize
Howard.
a bathroom break. That's crazy.
You guys don't understand, man.
All right, man. That's the end of that segment. Next thing we're going to do, pull out a thing we haven't done in months. We're going to guess some NBA teams by their 2K ratings.
Ooh.
Okay.
I've officially quit 2K for the fourth time in my career. I'm retired. I'm officially done. I'm not falling into Isaac's propaganda because he made us had a gun to my head and told me, download NBA 2K right now so that we could play. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I got to get it. I'm not doing it next year. I'm not spending my money on that.
Yeah. Well, let's see if you can understand the 2K ratings off of pure vibes then because you haven't seen them. I got a slideshow with 6 teams where I have the ratings on there position by position, and you guys are going to have to guess it. Did you guys just see that? Because I think Nikhil might have gave you the answer.
I didn't see shit. I just yawned. Oh my goodness. Thank God. I literally just
almost
yawned.
Folded.
Thank God for me being sleepy.
Okay. So real simple. I'm going to show you an NBA team. You're going to guess who they are based off nothing but their 2K ratings. First team. Who is this team?
This team is so fucking trash. Oh my God. So they got a point guard. I'm assuming that's point guard's an 80. The 2 and 3 is a 79 and an 84. Power forward's an 87 and center is a 79.
Relax. I think I got this.
You got this?
I think I got this. This
Calling
is
game?
Listen, the power forward is the star of the show. Everybody else is good, not great. Is this the New Orleans Pelicans?
Incorrect.
Whoa.
Humble yourself.
Okay, that was a great guess. That was a great guess.
Called an ISO, airballed that bitch.
My bad team.
All right. So who's another not lower tier, but who's another good power forward in the NBA with just a bunch of mid around them?
You tell me.
So
all right,
this could be.
Think out loud.
Could it be this season's version of the Memphis Grizzlies?
This is not the Memphis Grizzlies, no.
That was a good guess. Because they be switching out the goddamn 80s.
It was a good guess. Okay, what point guards in the league are solid but not great that we could think of in that 80 range?
I think there's so many of them. I think we have a hard time.
Yeah, I wouldn't start there. That's a bad place to start.
It's a power forward. I think it's a power forward. Someone I think about is, I got this shit. I got it. He's in my mind right now. He's a star of the show, star of the All-Star Weekend. Is this Scotty Barnes?
It is not.
Oh, fuck. Then this shit is, if it's not Scotty Barnes, then this is Paolo Banchero.
Correct. This is the Orlando Magic.
There we go. God damn it.
Was way too hard.
Fuck, man.
Okay.
Franz is an 84? Go to hell, 2K.
We haven't done this in a while. We're ramping up. We're going to be good.
yeah, sweating it
Go
out
to
right away.
hell, 2K. I saw Ronnie 2K on my flight on the way back from Indy. That's crazy as hell.
Name drop. Listen, name drop some more.
Jermaine O'Neal was on my flight.
Who?
Donovan
Jermaine
and I
O'Neal.
saw. Oh, really?
Your dad?
Your dad. I called Hakeem his brother last week.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
All right, next up. Who is this team?
Oh, everybody's good on this team. Okay.
84 point guard, 81 and 80 small forward and shooting guard, 80 power forward, and this is an 86 center. Who the fuck is this? So this show is being led by a really good or okay center, and the point guard is like middle of the pack.
This is just a mid team. It's just a mid team, but like a good mid team.
I think I can think of some good mid. Can you, Donovan?
I'm trying to run through it. I think I can get some good mid out of here.
As my brain is cycling through some good mid, there's some quality mid down nowadays these days.
They're really
the Houston Rockets.
Wow. First guess. This is the Houston Rockets.
Damn. I can't believe
you have some good mid. That's the goodest of mid right there.
Listen, that's what you said earlier. That's what you said earlier.
They're the best 500 team that's not 500. It's factual. comes in clutch.
There we go.
I love it.
All right, next up. Who is this team?
Okay, dominant center.
Elite center. So you got a 79 point guard, 82, 80 small forward and shooting guard, and a 78 power forward. Damn.
Is this
elite center with some shitters?
There's only one person that fits that profile. Is this the young king, Victor Wembanyama, and the San Antonio Spurs?
Ooh,
it is.
I don't know why my mind went blank. You carried me through that one. Good shit. Good shit. Jeremy Sohan, shout out to you for coming in clutch.
All right, next up. Who is this team?
92 point guard, 80 and 80 small forward and shooting guard, and an 87 power forward, and an 83 center.
Okay.
Ooh, this is good. This is good. Not gonna lie to you. So we have to think about one of the most elite point guards in the NBA, along with a pretty good but not elite power forward.
You know who that is?
I know who this is. I believe so.
Go ahead.
Is this Tyrese Halliburton?
Correct. This is the Indiana Pacers.
Give me my fucking money. I love this shit. I die for this shit.
Let's go.
Every day I wake up, you put your head down.
And I look at goddamn 2K logos. Or 2K ratings.
All right, next up. Who is this team?
Ooh, this team is fucking fire, bro.
Wow, great team.
You got an 85 point guard, 84 and 89 shooting guard and small forward, 94 power forward, and an 88 center. This team is fucking elite.
This team is crazy.
This team is crazy as hell.
This team is lethal.
But not gonna lie, I feel like I know who this might be. 94 is one of the best players in the entire NBA.
Exactly. There's only a handful. There's only a handful of players that fit that description. Go ahead.
So it can't be no Luka, can't be no Steph, can't be no Jokic. Hold on. Can't be Devin Booker or KD. This might be Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics.
Yes, sir.
Isaac is yawning. What the fuck? I knew it. God damn it.
You're lying.
Whoa!
I'm lying. It's the Celtics.
Oh, bro. You
Nikhil fucking folded my joke. God damn it.
Thank you, Nikhil.
Thank you.
I was about to say you're yawning like shit.
He be trying to play these games. I'm not with it.
Yeah, no, he fooled me. He fooled me with that one. He was yawning. I was like, damn.
I know his games. I know his tricks.
That was a real yawn.
Yeah, I know.
All right, next team. Who are these people?
85 point guard, 93 two guard, 79 small forward, 87 power forward, and 87 center. Damn. Who the fuck is this team?
All right.
This is tough. 93 two guard is tough, bro.
No, but think about it. Who are some of the best two guards in the league with a dominant front court like that? Come on. Think about it. We're almost there.
See,
do you know?
In my mind, I want to think like, could this be someone from the fucking Los Angeles Clippers? But no, because Zubac is not no goddamn 87.
That's why I'm gonna take a swing here. I'm gonna guess with the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Is this the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Ooh,
that's a good guess, but it is incorrect.
Ooh, that's a great
Mike Conley is not at
guess.
85. You're out of your mind.
Yeah, nah, he's
I have
not
no
like
idea.
That,
I have no idea what Rodney 2K is on these days.
Ugh, that's a great guess. Okay.
Okay.
I like where you're
Top two
thinking. So
guards.
one of the
That's a
most
good guess.
elite,
Dude. Listen, there's only so many teams as fits. That's one of them.
exactly. So we're talking about one of the most elite 2 guards in the entire NBA, along with a pretty damn good 4 and 5.
Oh, we're tripping.
Oh, shit.
This is, we got it at the same time. This is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cavaliers. There we go.
This is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah. Shout
I
out
feel
to
like
Max
Mo just
Strus.
latched on to you there. I don't know if he actually had it or not, but I'm gonna choose the believe
Nah,
him.
man. I had it.
We were in sync.
Don't
We
do
were
me
in
dirty.
sync.
Don't do me dirty. Stop trying to
Don't-
discredit me.
That's what I'm saying. Don't talk about my teammate like that. Don't bring us up.
Oh god,
Yeah, we'll
wanna
put you in a
get jumped.
headlock.
tag team me.
New media.
Pause.
Whoa. Yeah, get the okay. Oh my God,
All right,
Isaac.
bro. All right, bro.
You need to be regulated, bro. We need parental advisory now that we go into TikTok time, bro. I call this TikTok time. I call them create crayon eaters alongside with me for a goddamn reason. Not for you to make these disgusting jokes, man. Good God.
I didn't mean to.
We have responsibility, Isaac.
I was talking about wrestling.
We influence the youth. Last weekend, 2
I saw
very
Iron
young
Claw
kids
last
walked
week.
up
I
to
was
you
thinking,
and was like, "Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture?" You're like, "Sure." What happens next year if we allow them into our live show, Isaac? Then what?
next team. Learn
your lesson.
Last one. Who is this team?
Is this
Okay.
the same team? No, it's
No.
different.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. But once again, so every position is good except for the 3. The 3 is the weak spot on this team. We got, let's see, the power forward is the star of the show.
This is hard. Okay. So 81 point guard, 82 or 84 overall 2 guard, 79 overall small forward, 93 4 and an 87 center. Who the fuck is this? Who the hell?
Is
93 power
no,
forward.
No, we can't do that. We can't do that.
The 2 best players on this.
I was gonna go somewhere.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
I'm just no way. I was gonna say, is this the Los Angeles Lakers? But there's no way in hell AD would be at 87. Ronnie would be off
get outta
some
here.
crack if he did that, bro. Damn.
Who are
So
the
who's one of
best
the
front court
best-
duos in the league?
4s in the entire NBA, bro.
See,
Okay,
this one's hard. This one's kind of challenging, but I'll step to the plate. I'll accept the challenge.
let's think
Right.
about it. Let's break this shit down easily. This is no. I'm thinking about bigs. Can't be Bam Adebayo. He's not at 87 overall. Could this be someone like KD as a 93? No, because Nurkic is not fucking like that.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this, bro?
Let's see.
Damn.
you guys give up?
It can't be. Hold on. Wait. No.
Not just yet.
We don't give up yet. We don't give up yet. I know we're doing a
Right.
lot of thinking, and you want to keep this rolling, but we're gonna try and get.
Yeah,
this.
do a lot of talking. You can think, but how about you talk through it?
It's okay.
Damn.
It is
Okay.
okay.
So to be
So
honest with you,
the best power forwards in the league, right?
yeah.
Who are they? Who are the best power forwards?
Pascal
You got-
Siakam. You could say Julius Randle. You could say Paulo Banchero. You could say, I guess, Jason Tatum and KD. Fucking Kawhi Leonard. But this can't be Kawhi at all.
don't get too bogged up in
Damn.
positions. This one might confuse you.
Yeah, that's why I'm
the-
fucked, to be honest
so
with
these
you.
people are playing
That
out of
fucked me.
position.
I quit.
No, I don't know how you want to. Who's to say who's the 3 and the 4 on this team?
That's... See?
All right.
Even
you
with that,
got
I
it, you
quit.
got it,
I
you
quit.
got it. I'm not.
I quit.
It's like this is the Miami Heat.
What? Bam is at
The 3 or the 4.
87?
They play a bunch of wings. I don't know.
You kind of cooked us with this one. I didn't know. Okay, so... Wow. Yeah, you cooked us with
Who's
that
the
one.
4?
Okay.
Caleb Martin, Jaime Jaquez, one of them, or is it Jimmy Butler? I don't know. I put Jimmy Butler at the 4, but that was clearly what confused y'all.
Yeah, that fucked us definitely.
Yeah.
That fucked
that
us
got us.
definitely.
Yeah, I don't even know. What is he technically? I guess he might be the 3, and they put like Jaime at the
I
4.
would
I don't know.
count. Yeah, I would probably
Yeah.
want to count Jimmy as a 3, but it's not like set in stone. That was
Yeah, I don't
tricky.
know.
You went out with a bang with that one.
There you go. I got you finally.
Yeah.
Let's move on to something more interesting. Let's get you guys' blood flowing.
Ooh. Can I go ahead and interest you guys in something real quick?
Can you?
Talk to us.
I want to see if you guys can guess the top 10 leading NBA scorers of all time.
Okay.
All right.
The all-time scoring leaders. Gotcha.
This is tough. There's been some like shifts over the years, of course. And I want to see how well you guys can gauge how many buckets have been given over the last few years. Not over the last few years, but of all time by these players.
Gotcha.
Okay.
We can do this.
So, all-time scoring leaders, top 10, real simple.
Exactly. Total points. No points per game,
Gotcha.
bro.
It's time to lock
I'd
it.
hope not. That'd be awful. That'd be
Time
hard
to
as
lock
fuck
it.
to know
Let's
career
go.
points
Yeah.
per game.
Yeah, no, that would
All right,
be
let's do
insane.
Hit that hook.
So guys, can you guess the top 10? Ooh, I fucked up the hell like a motherfucker. Guess the top 10 NBA scoring leaders of all time.
Okay, I know the top 5 pretty easily. I think
LeBron
we can
James.
knock it out of the way. LeBron James is obviously 1. Kareem's number 2.
Damn.
I
You
think
running through
Nasty
this?
Man is 3.
Damn. You running through
Okay.
this?
Kobe.
And then Kobe and Jordan are 4 and 5, right?
Yes.
Damn and damn.
Okay,
You're
can we
running
get-
through this.
Can we get the Dallas legend Dirk Nowitzki on this one?
Oh
Is
my
he 7?
goodness.
Oh, no, he's 6. Okay.
You guys know ball. What the fuck?
Can we get?
Slow
7 through
down.
10 is harder. This is where we got to slow down. This is where it gets a little more difficult. 'Cause
Listen, I'm
the
not
easy
gonna
ones
lie.
are the easy ones. All right, well, for TikTok, I'm done.
Is Carmelo Anthony on this list?
Is
No
that
way.
a question or are you like, damn it? Ah!
Come on, guys.
He's on this list.
Come on,
Spain.
guys. Come on, guys.
He is number 9.
Respect greatness. Respect greatness. Okay.
Carmelo's number 9. So we got 7, 8, and 10 left.
Exactly.
It's going to be longevity. People who played a long time. People that played over a decade easily. Low key, is Tim Duncan up here, even though he's not a scorer like that?
You are wrong. Tim Duncan is not
Damn it.
on here.
He got you. It's okay.
Why are you laughing? You're on his team,
wait.
bro.
It was just funny. It's just funny.
Larry Bird didn't play long enough, I don't think.
Yeah.
I imagine Shaq didn't either.
Well, actually, no. Let's guess. Shaq?
Shaq is at number,
Oh, he's
8.
number 8. There
Congratulations,
you go. Should've
sir.
known.
There we go.
Oh my
There we go.
goodness.
Is Wilt Chamberlain up here?
Donovan, do you think Wilt is here?
Yeah, we'll guess Wilt.
He believes so. It is number 7. God damn it. I wanted
we
your
go.
hate to thrive, but it didn't.
Number 10
You guys have number
Underrated.
10.
is Moses Malone number 10.
Moses Malone is not number 10. I'm sorry, sir.
Ooh. Is Hakeem Olajuwon number 10?
Hakeem is not number 10. I'm so
Wait a
sorry,
minute.
sir.
Is Kevin Durant already number 10?
Is that a question or is that an answer?
It's a both.
Yeah.
Brown eaters are looking at me and I'm
Kevin
looking at
Durant.
you looking at me. Kevin Durant is number 10. Congratulations.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know why that occurred to me, but yeah, he's got to be up there already. He's been at it for a while. Man's not
Yeah.
getting any younger.
Yeah, KD, he
Look at
scored the
KD.
most points while playing the least amount of minutes, bro. It's insane in
Look
the
at
top
him.
20.
The fact
It's
that he's top
ridiculous.
10 with an Achilles tear made him miss a whole year of his prime, ridiculous.
Crazy.
Missed a whole year of your prime, and he's about to be number 9 actually soon and surpass Carmelo in like 2 games. So shout out to him. This
Perfectly
graphic is
balanced, as all
slightly
things should be.
outdated. Yeah. Good.
It's
grief.
outdated, but is it still?
It's still correct. It's still correct right now to this day. Yeah, but
Gotcha.
sooner than later, like KD's gonna eventually pass Carmelo. That's the next one.
Who's
in line.
Can we look up real quick, like outside the TikTok, look up the rest of the list? I wonder what other players are going to potentially get up into this range. Like, can James Harden or Curry get there?
No. They're in the
Are they
trenches.
way below?
They're like later 20s. Not later, my bad.
What-
Early 20s.
What players do you think are going to have a chance? Like, could Luka get there one day, you think?
What players could have a chance? Luka could definitely. Easily Luka could get there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He's averaging
Get out the
34
gate
right now.
swinging.
Yeah, no,
That's
he's
crazy.
Luka could get there. The only thing
Yeah,
is like,
James
would he
is
have the
out there.
longevity? It depends if he likes fucking basketball.
Yeah.
I think I hate to say it, but Tatum could get there because he'll probably have the
Oh, yeah,
longevity.
yeah. Got
I hate
going
to
real
say
young.
it. Yeah, Tatum could get there easily. Yeah, I think that's about it
Okay.
for like
Okay.
Okay.
Cool list.
easy answers for sure.
I respect it.
Y'all
Next
did
thing
good
we're going
though.
to do, we're going to pull out a T3 classic we haven't done in a long time. We're going to play a game of 20 questions.
Oh.
This time, I'm thinking of the NBA player. You guys are going to have to guess.
Uh-oh. Okay.
You guys
Let's
ready?
go ahead and do it.
Uh-oh.
20 questions. I'm kind of shaky at this game, but I got my A game on for TikTok time. Let's do
don't
it.
fold. Let's get you going. So, you got
Don't
20
fold.
questions to guess the NBA player I'm thinking of.
All right.
Let's do it.
Is he an all-star?
He is not.
Is he in the Western Conference?
Currently, yes, he is.
Currently, yes, he is.
Is this a current player?
Currently, yes, he is.
Ooh, that must mean he is hanging by the fucking threads right now.
Listen.
It doesn't mean that. It just means he wasted a question.
Please, no. We need every question with you. You be playing
we
sometimes.
need it. We need it, coach. You tripping. Okay, so he's currently an all-star, or not currently not an all-star, was
Is
in
he a
the
champion?
fucking West.
No, he's not a champion.
Is he a guard?
He is not a guard.
Ooh. Okay.
Is he a center?
He is a center.
Ooh. Okay.
Center, not a champion in the Western Conference.
You're sniffing it out. You're getting there.
Yeah. Is he a starter?
He is a starter.
Ooh. Getting down to the nitty and fucking gritty right now.
There's only so many, so maybe I made it too easy.
Is this Daniel Gafford?
Ew.
This is not Daniel Gafford, who is not a starter yet, so that's a bad guess.
He should, well, I don't want to say should be. Derek Lively, respect to you.
Yeah, true.
Does he have red in his jersey?
He does.
Damn. We might
I made this
be
too easy.
fucking
Fuck.
cooking.
Not even 10 questions in. Running me down.
Okay. Could this be DeAndre Ayton?
God damn it, this could be. This is DeAndre Ayton.
I'm here. Where the real eaters at?
Good job. Good job.
All right, well, that's going to be too short to make a TikTok out of, so let's do another game. Who wants to guess? Or who wants to think of the player?
I'll think of it. I got it. I got one right now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, you got one?
Yes. Give me like 2 seconds to confirm this draft year. But other than that, I got this nice, ready, locked in, loaded. Okay. I'm ready. You got 20 questions to guess the NBA player I'm thinking about.
Nikhil, that was so ineffective.
That's hilarious.
I was trying to figure out what you were going to do. Okay, so we got 20 questions. Is he a current player?
No.
Okay, retired. Okay.
Was he
Is
an
it Jeff
all-star?
Teague?
No. And no. That's 3 questions.
Damn it.
Hose.
Was this a backcourt player?
Yes.
Okay.
He's a backcourt player. Keep chugging.
were
Did he
they
retire in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Yes.
Were they a champion?
No.
He almost said hell no.
Shut up. I learned my lesson.
Is he working media?
No. That's a great question.
They all do these days.
I know.
I was
Get
like,
a real
Reddick,
job.
Richard Jefferson, Matt Barnes.
Was his
You can list them
primary
all for
team in the
days.
Western Conference?
That's a tough question because he was kind of both.
Okay.
Okay. Journeyman, or at least 2 teams.
Fair.
He retired in the last 10 years, didn't win a championship. Is he white?
No.
Damn it. I said, damn it, like I'm hoping for a white player.
Yeah, like
Is he a good shooter?
I've been trying to tell y'all.
Is he a good shooter? Sure.
Okay.
You got to be deep in the weeds for
guess.
this one. Yeah.
Deep in the weeds? Ah, shit, let me slow down.
Okay.
Played in both. So you retired in the last 10 years.
Was the
Was he
team
drafted in the 2000s?
No.
Okay, so he was drafted in the 90s probably. Or is he a bust?
what?
Okay,
Okay.
maybe drafted in the 90s. Never won a ring.
Was his primary jersey red?
Yes.
Like the team he's
The
most
team he
known
was
for.
longest on, yes. For sure.
Okay, the team he was longest on is red. He didn't win a championship. He's not in the media. Huh.
This is tough.
Not being an all-star is fucking me up.
Y'all not gonna get it. Y'all not gonna get it. Y'all not gonna get it.
Was he a starter?
No.
Is this impossible?
This
You
man
think
pi-
total
No,
bum?
it's not
picked a-
impossible.
He picked a bench player from the 90s.
Okay, how do we narrow this down? He
Wait,
drafted in the 90s. Well, he might be drafted in 2010s. It might be just be a quick bust. Should we ask that?
Was he drafted in the 2010s?
Yes. You got
Okay,
6 questions left. Hurry up.
Okay.
Okay, he drafted in 2010s. Not a champion. Main team is red. So red team, a bull draft pick, Trailblazers. Wait, is this Wesley Matthews?
No.
No, that wasn't a question.
No, it was. Hold on.
No,
just
he
answered,
was
it
asking
wasn't.
me. He was asking me.
No, y'all trying to finesse me. But you know what?
He was
I'll let it slide.
asking me. He was
You got to
asking me.
clarify that.
I was talking to Donovan. That wasn't clearly.
Clarify that next time, buddy. You're on watch.
Pistons, Wizards, Hawks.
No,
Heats.
it can't be the Pistons because the primary jersey isn't red.
Well, primary jersey.
Like
you said-
the primary color of the Pistons isn't red.
Okay, it's a blue jersey, right? Okay, I was thinking logo with red. Okay, who? He's a deep cut. Okay, so he's not. He's a decent shooter. Should we try to narrow down like skill wise?
I guess.
Is he a good defender? Is he known as being a good defender?
No.
Okay, so he's not known as being a good defender, and he's an okay shooter. Probably.
I feel like we need.
I'm
some-
dancing inside
some
right now.
college.
I might do this
we
one.
might need a college.
Trying to-
Oh, I don't know.
witnessing the
College,
first
like if it's a deep
potential
cut, that's not gonna help.
20-question fumble. They're asking
we try-
ass questions right now too. What'd you say?
Should we try to narrow down draft year? You want to narrow down the first half of the decade or second half?
Yeah.
Was he drafted in the first half of the 2010s?
I'll do you a favor and say right in the middle.
Okay, so 2015. It's not doing me a
Yeah.
favor. It's answering my question.
You got your answer, buddy.
I mean,
Focus. Lock the fuck in.
now we have to solidify if it was 2015 or not.
Well, it could be like 14 or 16. Either way, it's like a 3-year range right in the middle. Let's assume it's 2015. Look at these team
Okay,
logos.
wait. Time out. I would like clarity. So the first half of 2010 would be 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14. Is he drafted in the first half of the 2010s?
No.
Okay, so
So
it's 2015.
2015 and after.
It's 2015. He made it clear.
Okay.
I think you just wasted a
2015.
question.
No.
He was clarifying my question.
No, I clarified the question. What are you talking about?
Okay. I'm just making sure.
This is
sure
hard.
we're on
Fuck.
par.
2015 draft. Fuck. Is this Justice Winslow? I don't know.
Whoa. Crayon eaters, I'm giving these boys hella passes right now because that was a fucking answer.
That was a question.
That was? You
Yeah,
are sadly
that-
wrong.
Who else drafted in 2015?
3 more. 3 more.
Okay, so 2015.
Was he a first round pick?
Yes.
Okay. To a red team. Okay, which teams? It's not the Miami Heat. I just asked that. Okay, we're getting there. Listen, we're putting a buzzer beater to this bitch. He's gonna be so mad.
No, you're not.
All right,
He said he's a
what team's
backcourt player. Okay, so he's a 1 or a 2.
backcourt?
1 or 2 for the Raptors, maybe?
No.
Is DeLon Wright still in the NBA, Donovan?
Yes.
You're right. I think he is.
Yes, I think
It's not
he
the-
is.
Okay, so it's not him.
How gross do you think I am?
You're gross as fuck.
He's
You're right.
retired. Retired in the last 5 years.
Are you sure he's retired?
Wait. He definitely is retired. I
In the
didn't
last,
say in the last.
he's retired in the last 10 years.
Yeah. Last 5 years to this flex question, yeah.
He's retired but drafted in 2015. You're sure he's a first round pick?
I promise you.
What?
Okay, I'm going through.
Oh,
okay,
hold
this is
on.
tough.
I kind of fucked you guys for 2 seconds. Drafted in 2014.
You completely fucked us. God damn it.
Okay, no,
If
we
you're
deserve
a
a
real
question
guesser,
back.
you can get that.
We deserve a question back.
I just corrected one of your questions.
No, we deserve 17 should be taken off the board then. Because we asked 17 based on 16.
Okay, that's fair. The question is granted back.
Thank
This
you.
is the longest game of 20 questions
It
ever.
really
I
is.
know.
It really is. It's now a clip.
Primary team is red.
now a
Backcourt
clip.
player.
Okay, so the 2014 draft went.
That's the Andrew Wiggins draft.
It went Wiggins, Jabari, Okafor in 14.
Is that the draft Joel Embiid was in?
Yes, it was. It was it the same as Wiggins? I believe so. Yeah.
Oh no, because
Yes.
Okafor went in 15. Okay, so Wiggins, Jabari, Embiid, and I have no idea who went after
I
that.
have these boys in hell right now.
Oh my god!
I just look at the draft.
Just look
so
at the draft. He's supposed to be off the domers, but this is so tough.
Just look at
He's
the draft.
retired already. You put out some bullshit.
No, I hate this.
I
Is
was
it
thinking
Shabazz
about this guy the
Napier?
other day, man. Huh?
Is it Shabazz Napier?
Damn it! It is Shabazz Napier.
I had to look up the 2014 draft. I had to cheat. I was like, I'm never
Yeah.
gonna get it.
Crown Eaters. Although I made an error, you guys semi cheated. Sadly, we have lost this one.
Y'all are the worst
Congratulations.
people to play 20 questions with. I get so infuriated playing with you guys.
That was awful.
Oh,
Yeah,
bro.
man, that was ridiculous.
Shabazz
That
Napier
must be
had
terrible
y'all
radio.
I'm done. End the episode, man. Sick of this.
Shout out to
Oh my
Shabazz.
god! All right, man. That's what a way to
I'm over
end the
this.
episode on a fucking. We're done here, Donovan. If people are still here, what should people comment?
If they are still here, comment Mo is Hashim the Beat.
Damn.
Follow
Comment-
us on Twitter and you'll get the reference.
Specifically, comment Mo looks like Hashim to beat.
Yes.
Look, when you say it, Isaac, sounds charged. When Donovan says it, it sounds like a shot at me. I'll accept it though. I deserve it.
If you know, you know. We'll see y'all next time.
Follow us on Twitter.
Peace.